What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. This is the MUFC Unfiltered podcast. Myself with Flawless. What are you telling me, Flawless, man?
I'm
How's
good.
life? Other than
Yeah,
United, how's
other than
life?
United, I'm blessed, and that's what I asked you before the show. I'm good, but it's ironic that when I asked you about the game, and you just said I'm tired. So am I. I'm
Yep,
tired, man. We're
tired.
we're 7 games into the season, and I feel like we're in game week 37. I feel like we've had a long
Bro,
treacherous season, man. I feel like
bro,
and we've been in the trenches
listen,
of the trenches, man.
it's peak out here, man. I can't lie to you. People are saying more emergency meetings than wins. People are
Facts.
saying this is our worst history. So worst, sorry, start to a season in 34 years.
Yes, yeah.
That's two back-to-back L's at Old Trafford. Even
Mhm.
what we had that was good
It's
about
gone.
us, our home
That's it.
form is
Yeah,
over, people. It's
yeah.
time to get serious.
Gone.
We are in trouble right now. This is a
We are.
proper emergency meeting.
And
This
Saeed,
ain't no kind of yeah,
I
go
gotta
on.
pull you up on the emergency meetings. It's not emergency meet. They're just meetings now. You know what I'm saying? This happens on a regular basis. They're just meetings now.
Okay,
It's not no emergency, man.
bruv. Where the call center? Where 999? Where the call center, bro? We're
Bro.
Sorry,
picking up
Saeed.
the phone calls,
I
mate.
didn't mean to cut you off mid floor. I just had to let that be known. My bad. My bad.
Nah,
My
it's one
bad,
of them,
Saeed.
man. Like I said, man. A big up to Dan B. Glazer Ruin is not irreparable now. Good to meet you in person, Saeed, today. What a win. Yeah, big up to the Crystal Palace fan that I met outside Old Trafford, Eagle Eye Football. I said 3-1 before the game. He said I wouldn't mind that because, again, like I said, it's one of them where, you know what I mean, United are a good team, etc., etc. But we are not, man. Bro, man, them today, I don't know what I seen. I don't know what I witnessed, but bro, it's getting worse, man. It's getting worse, guys. I feel like the football's bad as it's been. We got a little bit of a kind of fake reality on Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe we got a bit overgassed on that one, but man, damn, I'm gonna start off with you, Flawless, man. Another loss. That's 4 losses this season. Are we in a
Jesus.
crisis right now? Are we in trouble right now?
Yeah, we are in trouble right now because this was the game that we're supposed to kick on. We were supposed to back up the performance we had against Palace, then that result, get another win, and then go into the Galatasaray game with confidence and have momentum, and also the game against Brentford at home. It was four home games, and we've just completely messed it up. You mentioned it. What we had last season, that was our backbone. That was what our whole platform was built from. Was great home form. We had the second best home record in the league, and Brighton shattered that. But we did lose to Brighton last season. But this is Palace, and let's not get mistaken. This is not. It's not like it's a fantastic Palace side, number one, and it's not like they played fantastic again all season long, giving up goals. What's Lindelof doing for the goal? Like, he's marking nobody. Close down the man. Stop being passive. But we've given away, when you look through I don't know how many goals you conceded, but let's say it's 20 goals you conceded. Guaranteed 15 to 16 of them are like our fault. Very few of them are the opponents where you just hold your hands up and go, that's a phenomenal team goal. Or that's a phenomenal piece of individual brilliance. Like, no, we've given up goals. And again, set piece. Anderson, you know what I'm saying? First shot on target, goal. Like Bayern Munich, first
First
shot
shot
on
on
target,
target.
goal. Same
It's
way
a
against
joke.
Brighton, first shot on target, goal. And it's like, and in terms of our attack, banged on about it all summer long on your channel, Saeed, when we was doing these shows. What did I say about our attack? When people talk about, why can't we challenge? Why are you being negative? We got this player, we got that player. This attack is not that good. And we're seeing it because we actually dominated the ball today. We had 70, I believe,
I know.
77%
But
possession.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel
Go on.
like it's domination without nothing. Like we're just like
Because
they had
Saeed,
control. All they did was go side to
yeah,
side
to
and
side, yeah.
shuffle
Saeed,
across.
because you said it, it's like because we don't really have too much. And we know this in terms of our attack. Rashford's off form, Hoyland's new, Palestri decent, Bruno on Mount. What we doing? Like, why is it a shock? You know what I'm saying? Like, but here we are. Like, that's just legit what it is because we actually had, like I said, we had possession of the ball. So keeping the ball wasn't a problem. Yes, we made incorrect decisions in the final third, yes. But we had enough of the ball to hurt Palace, and we created one clear-cut chance, probably the Mount header. That's what I would say. That's just legit it. But yeah, that's my thoughts pretty much on the game. Same old, it's like a carbon copy of the Brighton game. Minus Palace didn't score, didn't create that much, and didn't score 3 goals. And that's pretty much it. But pretty much a carbon copy of that game.
You know what? You're spot on, you know, because like I said, I hear that 74% possession, but we had one chance. I think Garnacho was it or someone, when the ball came across and we should have got it. Apart from that, and I'm thinking maybe the shot from, was it Bruno that tipped over the bar? I think it was it. Was it a shot from Bruno? Musa, man, I can't lie to you, man. I said last week against Brighton, Man United have regressed this season. We've gone worse than last season, and I still stand by that. You know what I mean? And ultimately, the manager will get the blame and get majority of the blame. But these players, man, Rashford ain't good enough. Bruno today not good enough. Casemiro today poor. Yeah, everyone. I don't think there's one like people gassing up Mason Mount performance. And listen, I'll let people do that in it. But for me, the great or good is that we're not playing as a team in it. That's what we're not doing now, Musa. Manchester United right now are not playing as a team. What's going on, Musa, man?
Boy, I'm not seeing it, mate. I'll be honest with you, like Saeed. As far as I'm concerned, when I look at this United team, we're in problems. And I told you, man, from the beginning of the season at the start, and everyone was thinking that I was overhyping when I said I'm on Ten Hag watch.
You did.
Everyone was like, yeah, it's just this. It's just, yeah. But my thing is this, and why I'm saying that is that I just have to go on the good things we done last year, and we have to build on that. And I kept on saying we had the second best defense in the league with Newcastle behind City. We had the most clean sheets as a defensive unit. I kept on saying but we saw where we were failing, and it's where we're failing again. Our front three, or let's say our front four, including Bruno, are atrocious. They don't score the goals that we need to be competing as a top 4 side. Like, we need to have more goals coming from our front four. So the issue we had this summer was to get a solid number 6, a solid number 10, and a striker. They're the 3 play positions that we needed to go in for. So yes, getting Onana was great and all that, but that wasn't our problem last season. As much as we were like, complaining, De Gea, I get it, but we still had the second best defense in the league, and still and we still had the most clean sheets. Like, even today's goal, De Gea saves them goals all the time, man. As bad as he was, he saves them ones.
Nah, there was a banging goal, Musa. No. I'm
listen,
not here for that,
you know what?
man.
I say that to you. No, see what? Listen, Saeed, yeah? Let me show you, Saeed. Watch the goal again. It weren't top bins. It weren't like right in the corner. The amount of times, watch when you see the highlights. The amount of times De Gea saves them ones, and then he starts looking at his back four like, rah, where were you, man? He saves them. Like, I'm not saying that. Like, this is the thing about De Gea. He saves shots that normally or a lot of goalkeepers don't save, and he made it look the part. And this is what, and I said to the man, if we lose to Burnley, I'm Eric Ten Hag out. But you can't go to Burnley and get a result and then think you're going to lose to Palace. And I want see me. If this is a boxing match, we're getting rope doped. The man them are on the ropes, letting us punch ourselves out. So that's the possession. So it seems like we're doing something. As soon as we get tired, bang, a one face bang, and we're out. And and that's how I see it. And as far as Eric Ten Hag, if this is a boxing match, I'm throwing in the towel. And we need to save him. We need to get him out of here. You gotta throw the white towel in.
Yeah, man. So you think the thing is for me though?
Throw the towel in,
man. Who you gonna get? Who you gonna go get with these mediocre players, man? Come on, man. Who you gonna go and get? You know what I mean? Deserby got smacked up today. Who you gonna get, man? I genuinely think right now, man, it's just we are cursed, man. It's done.
No, in regards to us, we're not cursed. Like, I'm not saying get rid of Ten Hag, but the thing, I'm not Ten Hag out. I've said this, Ten Hag doubt, but he's doing more and more things that make me doubt him, and I can't defend him against what Moose is saying. What Moose is saying, I fully understand. The manager's making too many just just pure foolishness and just choppiness like that he's going on with certain decisions. Like today, I put the vast majority of the defeat on him. Play the same team. The team played against Palace in the cup, played very well.
It's too stubborn, man. He keeps playing Bruno for no reason. And why you keep playing Rashford as well, man? This Rashford guy, man. I'm sorry, man. Bang average, man.
Easily our best performance.
Rashford, bang average.
Talk about it, fam.
What does he do in this team? But yet the manager decides to start him every game. Bro, Garnacho did more in 20 minutes than Rashford did all game.
That's a valid point.
Rashford, I'm telling you now, man, yeah, he gets the goals, but his overall game is average. Man never looks up. He never looks up. He doesn't want to be a team player. He wants to hog the ball all the time. Like, what do you do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm being serious. Like,
get off your chest, man. The floor's yours.
Last season, okay, but bro, his overall game is average. I've been saying it since 2019, but people think I'm hating.
Talk about it, fam.
There's no amount of training that's going to help this guy. I'm telling you now, man. No amount of training is going to help this guy. Because this guy fundamentally thinks he can do it all himself. Thinks he's Ronaldo, man. Like, you're not Ronaldo, bro. I said it from day one. You're not Ronaldo. Now pass the ball. Humble yourself. Simple as that. But yet what he keeps doing is, oh, you know what? I'm going to take 3 people on. I'm going to take one. Bro, pass. Pass the damn ball, man. Like Hoyland today. I seen Hoyland going sick at Rashford today. Hoyland is coming to the football club. Yeah, he was saying, yo, bro, pass me the ball, man. Sometimes you don't see things off the ball or off the camera,
yeah.
I see Hoyland going at him. I'm just gonna get a couple of super chats in, man.
It's cool, man. Get off your chest, man. I feel like we're outside. I feel like we're in Newcastle outside the ground, and I'm flex, and you're going off about Rashford again, innit? That's how I feel right now. Go on, carry on.
My
carry on, fam.
Brandon, bring up Brandon. Said Arsenal fan here. Buckle up. The boat even started to sunk yet, but Ten Hag ain't it. Sancho might be onto something, bro. I kept saying, man, Sancho's a smoke screen. People don't want to listen. Oh, Sancho. Listen, Sancho is a smokescreen to the problems at Man United. That's why I don't focus on it. Yeah? But everybody wants all week talking about Sancho. Talk about the problems that's at the football club right now. Yeah? Everyone just wants to blame one particular thing or whatever. Like, stop it, man. Onyeka says here, every successful team I've seen from American sports to whatever have an identity. I don't know what Man United's identity is. I big up my guy Killis, man. He says, we're in trouble. We don't create enough chances and don't score enough. Team changes needed, and Ten Hag has to take some blame.
I agree.
Ten Hag has to take some blame.
I agree. I think he takes the majority of the blame. I said that beforehand. I said, if he changes the team and we don't win, I'm blaming the vast majority of the blame is going on the manager. Like, you should have kept the team the same. That team deserved to go out and play again. 110% they did. And you changed it to bring 2 players in who are not in form. You know what I'm saying? You could add 3, you could even add Lindelof into that mix. As much as I don't like Maguire, he played well in that game against Palace. Play him again. Let that man want to talk about standards. Let the players earn the shirt on merit. Let players keep that. Oh, I'm just going to bring Rashford and Bruno back in. Do you imagine the message that would send to the rest of the team if he did drop Rashford and drop the captain? Like, nobody's safe. That makes everybody book up their ideas. And I think some time out will do both of those some good, to be honest. Take them out of the spotlight. Take them out of the fire. They're clearly not playing well. Stop forcing it and just drop them, because we played better without them. I'm not saying we will, because people get mistaken. I'm not saying overall the other players are the answer. I'm talking about right now for the short term. Good players go through bad form. It happens. Well, yeah, go on, fam. Carry on.
I'm going to get the super chat in from K Mac. Big up to K Mac. And Rashford and Bruno have started nearly every other game under Ollie, Ragnick, and Ten Hag. Is there a possibility someone is pulling the string behind the scenes?
No, bro. Nobody. Cut this myth. No, it's just poor decision making. Stop giving these managers a get out. Ollie's not good enough.
Keep bluffing managers.
Not good.
That's what
managers keep picking him. Like, that's what it is. Managers are picking him. You know why? Because we've seen Bruno get dropped. We've seen Rashford get dropped. We've seen both of these players get dropped. What are we doing here?
Yo, that's Ted Lasso. I see rants with his match reaction. Yo, that's crazy. But you know what, Musa, man? Like, you know what it is with me today? Yeah, the manager after the press conference, he says, "Oh, we're making bad decisions. You know, we're not really creating a lot of. We're losing a lot of chances. You know what I mean, and whatnot." And he keeps like I don't know. I feel like he keeps downplaying it, man. I don't know what it is. I get it. The manager has to be like, "Yo,
he's in trouble, man.
It.
He's in trouble, side man. Eric Ten Hag's in trouble, man. Because you see me, when you throw your towel in when you've got a boxer in the ring, it's not because you don't believe in him. It's because it's mathematically impossible with the rounds left for him to win the fight. And I'm looking at the targets that was set for Eric Ten Hag at the start of the season. And I'm just looking at it. And yes, it's not mathematically impossible, but I'm just looking at this United side and I'm looking at it. And I just don't see a top 4 finish. The senior players are not playing for him. And I don't get why. So for me, it's like he's lost the dressing room. The senior players have not played for Eric Ten Hag all season. No one's playing for him. Like the senior players, he's only get the youngsters like Hannibal that came on and outrun everyone in his first game. But the senior players are not playing for Eric Ten Hag.
You know what?
So what are we doing with that?
I feel like for me, I feel like there's a conflict. Like I feel like for me, people are conflating the 2 points. I feel like they are playing, but also what's even more kind of damning is that they don't know what they're doing. I feel like sometimes, you can.
No, but you know why they're not playing for him, Saeed?
Go on.
The reason they're not playing for him because Eric Ten Hag, more than 3 occasions, has come out and said they're not doing what I'm telling them. Your manager can't come out in the first 7 games of the season.
So why is he playing the same players then? But why does he keep playing the same players?
No, but that means they're not. That means that's why he's lost the dressing room. You can't come out more than 3 occasions in your first 7 games where you've lost 4 out of your first 7, and you keep on telling us that the players are not doing what you're telling them to do. Why are they not doing it? These are senior players.
No,
go on.
Yeah, it's a damning indictment that he did indeed say that. But if players are not doing what you want them to do, drop them. Because that's the reason, and this is nothing to do like with Sancho, and I don't want to talk about that situation, but this is what you said about Sancho. He wasn't putting in the effort level you expected in training, and you dropped him first. Not saying you're wrong or right, because we haven't watched him in training, so I don't know. The point that I'm making is, if you put, let's say it's 4 or 5 players out there on the pitch, and they're not doing what you expect them to do, they should not start the next game. Senior players or not.
You know what?
Go on.
He was asked a serious question in a press conference and prior to this game. He was asked, do some players train better than others, or are some players better in match games than they are in training? And the reason I'm asking this question is because Hannibal will never have got a chance if it wasn't for the injuries. So is Hannibal like better in the game than he is in training? Because why are you not picking Hannibal based on training then? If you're not playing Sancho because based on training, so then how are these other guys? So are some players just better on the pitch than they are on training? Which one is it? Because if it's based on training and based on what you're doing, then why did it take you so long to realize that Hannibal's got more fight and more grit than half of the players in midfield? We played the same Crystal Palace team. We played the same Crystal Palace team on the weekend. And the only 2 players that we're missing are the same 2 players we're going on about, Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. He puts them straight back into the next game, and look what happens.
And on top of that, like I said, if players on there's a few things with the whole Sancho thing, he's opened up a whole kind of worms with that now, because what he said about Sancho was effort. He didn't actually say, but then that's making people say, what is it about effort in training? Is it about having effort and performing to a level? So say you put in fantastic effort, but you're just not that good in training. Will you then get picked? That's why he just needed to keep his mouth shut on that. And in regards back to the players not doing what you want them to do, drop players. And I've seen, the thing is, I've seen him do this last year. We've seen him drop Ronaldo. We've seen him drop Maguire. We've seen him get rid of De Gea. We've seen him not use players or move players on. So why all of a sudden have you got to this season and you're not going with that? That's what doesn't make any sense to me. And maybe it is. Maybe I'm just speculating. It is the pressure getting to him. But drop players. Rashford and Bruno.
The pressure's got to him because 100%. And it's the same thing what you're saying about the Sancho. When he was asked about Sancho on this press conference, he said, I don't comment about players that are not available. So why didn't you say that the first time?
That's all, man.
So why didn't you say that the first time?
That's it.
When you was asked why ain't Sancho about, why you say you don't comment on players that's not available? Now you say after the big beef, you didn't say it the first time. I'm telling you, this job, and another thing on Eric Ten Hag, I want this man to succeed so much, but he's dropped his ethos and principles to what got him to where he is. He's not playing the Eric Ten Hag style. And on top of that, his player profiling is scary. Well, like it's scary. Well, lie is scary, Syed. It's scary. Because I'm looking at the players.
Today I seen online, we're missing Anthony, bro. What's Anthony gonna do in this team, man?
Bro, Anthony is gonna be a worse. Anthony is going to be a worse flop than Harry Maguire. But you see the way Man United are destroying team and players, yeah? I'm starting to think maybe Harry Maguire is really a baller. And it's us, man, that's messed him up. Because if you look at the amount of players we've messed up here, Harry Maguire is just a long list. Like, cool, when Pep wanted him, did Pep not know what he wanted when he wanted Maguire?
Thanks.
But I think that's just...
Like, did he not know?
That goes to show, no, that's just, again, back to what we were talking about earlier when someone asked in the super chat about, managers forced behind the scenes to pick players. Managers get things wrong. We've seen Pep get things wrong.
No, but my thing is this, though, Flawless. Maguire might have went on to City and actually won trophies. And whenever he would have been called upon, he most probably would have just fitted into the system. And they wouldn't have exposed, because you know what Man United are? Man United are good at exposing players' frailties. Where teams like City and Liverpool, they like to cover up. They play systems that will cover up a player's frailties. None of City's players are rapid. We keep on talking about rapid players. David Silva was never rapid. Bernardo Silva's not rapid. Gundogan is not rapid. Like Grealish is not rapid.
Quality, man.
But
none of the players are rapid.
But here's the difference with that, though, one, those players are quality, and two, the vast majority of City's players, when you look at it now, even if they're not pace and power, them man are mobile. They can shift. But David Silva is one of the best number 10s we've ever seen in the Premier League, like without doubt. But like a Bernardo Silva, he's tenacious. He can shift. He's mobile. You know what I'm saying? The only one they don't really have like that that's
but we had that
is Grealish. Go on.
Listen, if one matter would have went to City, he would have had a glory. If one matter would have went City, he would have had a glorious,
100%,
a glorious career.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Players like that, like Sancho knows what he's doing, man. There's players in this team that I'm not thinking like Ahmed, Sancho, and we've had players, Di Maria. These players are not all bad players. I'm just thinking to myself, and I'm looking at Eric Ten Hag specifically, and this is why I think for me, there's certain standards that he talks about, and I said that Man United had standards. One of the standards I said is that your previous two managers have both finished second in their second season. Your previous two managers, Eric Ten Hag, you're walking into a club where your previous two managers have both finished second in their second season. You finished third in your first season, no problem. Even if you don't finish second, minimum is a top 4 finish. So when you take it upon, that's what I'm saying. But that was minimum. That's minimum. So my thing is, as a fan base, if we don't believe this manager can get us top 4 in his second season, when for me a minimum was to be finishing third and fourth again. So where are we going with him? Because we're only going to be starting next season again.
Yeah. Well,
of course we have, because he went and destroyed them. Go on.
Dillian here. Big up to Dillian. Says United fans making excuses that Eric Ten Hag doesn't have his players. How many players does he need to beat at Palace at home? Listen, anyone should be beating Palace at home. Manchester United, everyone should be beating Palace at home. Not Ten Hag, not only everyone, mate. You know what I'm saying to you? So for me, you're spot on.
You know how we know before you carry on. You know how you know we should be beating Palace at home, because we just beat Palace at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go. Without so-called...
Yeah, did we not watch Tuesday? As well? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Big up Staffy as well every single time.
Yeah, big up Staffy as well in the building. David Toff says, Palace fan here, Schlupp, Ayu, Mateta, the worst front three Palace ever fielded in the Prem. Momentum L for you. Read that again. Let that sink in. Triple L. And Yusuf Ibrahim, big up to you guys. I don't think they're not playing for him. I think they're fatigued. That's why the second team looked better in pre-season and against Palace in midweek. Well, this is what you got to do. You got to change it then, broski. You know what I mean? If you're a manager, for me, Ten Hag, he's gonna die on his squad favorites. If he's gonna rely on his favorites, you will, my friend, die on that sword. So Ten Hag, you've got two options. You either play a team that's balanced and we actually look more threatening and it actually shapes into the form that you want us to play in, or I'm sorry, man, the door could be yours because we want you to succeed. Every United fan wants Ten Hag to succeed, but he is making his job very, very difficult. Let me get Staffy involved here. I'm big up to everybody here. 2.5k in the building. We've not even hit 1,000 likes, guys. Hit the like button if you're watching right now.
Likes, man.
Bump up the likes, people, man. We need to see them likes.
Yeah, bump up the likes, you lot. What is this? What is this Mason Mount open play conversion rate? What we doing, man? You know what I'm saying? That open play assist conversion rate. What we doing? What we move? Go on, Staffy. My bad.
Yeah, Staffy, talk to us, man. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Well, first of all, 2.5 watching right now, and we just made it a 4-man panel. So if you're not smashing these likes, I don't know what we're doing out here. You know, we're not taking an L on the pitch and an L on YouTube. We got to catch a W somewhere. So we're catching a W right here, right now on Said TV, live in front of everyone. But listen, Said, I'm listening to what's being said. I was like, yeah, let me tune in and see what's going on. And we're just not really, I feel like we're not talking about the game enough. There's so many reasons why we've been losing games this season. And at this point, you just feel like every time we have a different excuse or a different reason. But at the end of the day, we actually have to talk about this game in isolation. Flawless was on my channel yesterday, and we were speaking about how we have to play players based on performances. Now, I don't care who was on or off the pitch the last game. The performance was good enough to warrant that these players should get another run, because we sat there. Listen, granted, it being a Palace B team, C team, D team, whatever the people want to call them, everyone who played well. The team collectively looked well. The individuals looked well. And we were like, you know what? They deserve to play another game. You come into this game, Hannibal gets benched. Martial gets benched. Maguire played well and he got played well. He got benched. Garnacho played well and he got benched. He got a goal, for fuck's sake, and he got benched. Big up Musa, by the way. I know it's the first time I work with you.
What's going on?
So I'm just seeing that. I'm like, you know what? That's not a good start, because everyone who played well got dropped. Yes, I get it. It was Palace B team or whatever. But it doesn't matter. We still put in a good performance. Today, the same approach. I've seen the way Palace approached the game was the exact same. They sat back. They didn't really do anything. The worst team to concede early against is a team like Palace, because they love nothing more than to just sit there and defend. And they're actually pretty good at defending. I got to give them some credit. You know, they just completely dismissed us when it came to like set pieces and corners and all that stuff. We had no answer for them. Now, I just want to actually talk about this game and what was the issue. We had 19 shots in the game. Only 4 of them were on target. And let's be very honest, there was a couple of them that were just shots on target but really didn't do anything. Like, they weren't actually dangerous shots. I heard people talking about the possession, Bruno this, Bruno that. I'm not a big fan of Bruno, but I'm not even pointing fingers at him today because he didn't do anything that I didn't expect. He didn't have a stinker, but he didn't put this team on his back and carry us to a win. So I get it if people want to talk about that. But when you have 72% possession and you're sitting here and we're like, let's try to remember what big chances we had in the game. If we sat here and I told everyone to go next, I'd be like, Said, you start and everyone go next. Yeah. We really wouldn't sit here and have anything to talk about. And you had 72% possession. The manager has to hold his hand up, because the manager did have enough of his players today to look better than he did. Yes, he did keep the ball, but there was a lot of mistakes in the team that led, first of all, to that goal. I know a lot of people were talking about Amrabat giving away the foul. I sat there and was like, why is Casemiro giving up the ball 3 times in a row in that sequence that eventually led to that foul that we conceded from? Yet another issue with Casemiro. Another game, he fooled us last game. He had a good game and everyone's like, oh, he's turning it around. Goes back and drops a stinker again. And now people want to point fingers at Amrabat, be like, well, he was giving away fouls. It's his first Premier League game and people already want to sacrifice him. Insane. The biggest elephant in the room for me that I want to talk about right now is Rashford. Because as I said, me and Flo sat there and we talked yesterday and we were like, listen, people say that they have to play. No, but here's the thing, Sai. They told us our best players must play. And I get it. I understand. Eventually, you need to get them into that system that we played last game, and play with Amrabat, play with everyone who played well. Because eventually, as the season goes by, these are the guys that we need to rely on. But Flawless said something perfect. He said, that is the main issue. The main issue is that these guys are actually our 2 best players. Because they're not. Rashford and Bruno are not our 2 best players. And I don't really want to dig into Bruno because I don't think he had that bad of a game. I think it was Casemiro today that was an issue in the midfield. But Rashford, I think you said it, Said, before I got on. He plays like he's Ronaldo. Bro, we were complaining about this guy not passing. Today, he did everything but shoot. I'm like, bro, you're cutting, you have to shoot. We're not getting shots on target. 19 shots, only 4 on target in a game that we had possession 72%. That shows you that the front line that we have is dead. And you can say it's because of them as individuals or as the supporting cast. I think Mount and Bruno don't work well together. Listen, people will always want to tell me, oh, Mount is this, Mount and Bruno's that. I don't want to even sit here and pick between them. I just don't think them two with this front line that we have are good enough together. Yes, Højlund had some mistakes. He looked a little bit, all over the place today. But when you look at it, how many clear-cut chances did he get today? I can't name you a lot. I don't remember anything but that one that he kind of tried to chip over the keeper and it got cleared off the line. Yeah. Other than that, did we give him like 5-6 chances to bury at least 2 or 3 of them, like every striker in the league does? No. Haaland doesn't score every chance he gets, and he's a world-class finisher. But his team consistently create exactly. We have no volume, and the numbers show it today. The numbers shows, and this is why. By the way, Musa, I kind of disagree with you. When you were talking about the mentality and the players giving up on the manager and losing the dressing room and all that, that is too political for me. To me, that has nothing to do with what I've seen today, because I've seen the players today run. I've seen the players try. I've seen them do a lot of things, but it wasn't good enough. And I have to blame the manager because he had enough of the players to play a little bit better. And I also have to blame the individuals, because if the manager got you to set up in a way where you're keeping the ball for 72% of the time, that's a lot of time on the ball. That's a lot of time for me to see you hit the post a few times, get a few shots on target. Other than that Bruno shot and the Højlund shot and maybe the Garnacho one, I don't remember anything. I can't sit here and be like, you know what, we got very unlucky today. On another day, we could have won this. The players are not doing the tactics good enough. And I don't think the manager, listen, this is when you could go back to the manager and be like, well, did the manager really buy the right players in this team? And this is where we can actually sit here and be divided a little bit, because some of us are going to rate certain players and some of us are not. Go ahead.
You know what's mad today? I think the whole fan base today at Old Trafford, we're tired of Rashford today. I'm not even lying to you. I've never seen a fan base like just have enough with Rashford today. Like there was 1 minute in the game where, did you see it, where he was hogging onto the ball on the left-hand side, and the fan base, you could hear it. They're saying, give the ball. And today, what I found on different was on Tuesday, and yes, it's the B team of Crystal Palace, but we had actually quickened the movement. The
ball was moving, Saeed. The ball was moving, yes.
The ball was moving today. People say, oh, we had possession and whatnot, but we didn't have conviction today. Today was no conviction in our passing. And you know what it is, I just feel like, for me, like, something that Ten Hag has to sort out, and I said it and I'll say it again, he has to sort out the balance in this team. The balance is all wrong. He's got players that are maybe better than others, have more impact than others, but aren't better for the team. But then you've got players on the bench who are actually better for others, but don't have the impact. So he's crossing between. So what do you trust? You've got to trust a team that plays better. You've got to trust that, for me. If you play better as a team, and you get them chances, they will score goals. They will. But the problem is, though, he's getting players that probably don't suit the team, but then get the odd goal here and there. But you're relying on moments, man, and that won't work. And I said it against Burnley when there was a time to kill off the game. Ten Hag said, "Nah, I'll take the 1-0." And today, the other way came today. Crystal Palace had the 1 goal, and then he brought the subs on too late. So
some of the subs didn't make no sense. Some of the subs didn't make no sense. But it's in regards to we have before you go, Musa. We just have the same issues as last year. He's not addressed it from an offensive standpoint. We struggled people. This myth that it's such a myth that Manchester United, and this ain't singled at one player. I'm talking about as a team as a whole, created so many chances. Was there certain games where we created a lot of chances? Yes, but overall, I don't remember any of our attacking players missing countless easy chances week after week after week. That's the point I'm making. So they can't. So what? So we've when people say, "Oh, the attack hasn't worked under Ten Hag," it's never worked under Ten Hag. The strongest part of our team was us being defensively solid, and for various reasons, that has now gone to shit. I don't know why it's gone to shit exactly. It's various reasons in terms of our better players. Your Casemiro, Martinez, obviously he's injured now, but not being 100% fit. Varane's been missing. But it's still, even when those players was missing last season, there was still that defensive resilience there. Now that defensive resilience seems to be, look how many easy goals. I bet we've given up more easy goals in his first 8 games than we did in the entire part of last season. I barely remember, take out the first 2 games of last season, where I say Manchester United consistently gave away easy goals. More often than not, it was a moment of magic. But we're giving away just basic, simple stuff. Conceding straight up from a kickoff. Conceding straight after we scored. Not defending set pieces. All types of foolishness. But yeah, go on, Musa.
Yeah, man. Like I said, this guy, for me, anyway, I've had enough of Erik ten Hag. I said it.
You Ten Hag out, yeah? You Ten Hag out.
Are you Ten Hag out?
But I'm Ten Hag. I'm Ten Hag white flag. You see, when you raise the white towel, like I'm trying, like I want it, like he's my man. When you raise the white towel, that means that's your man in the ring fighting. That's your man. So Erik ten Hag was my guy, but I'm raising the white flag that he can't. Because my thing is this: it's his second season. This season we were meant to see certain things. What I'm saying is, if we write off this season with what he's trying to do, we're going to start the 3rd season with Erik ten Hag with another 2 million in the transfer window, and I'm not too sure about his signings. I don't know where he's going with his signings. Are you trying to get young players that are for the future, like Anthony Højlund, or are you trying to get players like Amrabat, Eriksson, and Casemiro? What are you trying to do? Do you want proven OGs that are going to take you, that are just going to win straight away, or do you want to plan for the future and get young players? Because if that's the case, then make your mind up. Let's go young and let's try and play your style of football, and let's build on that from the get-go. But what are you doing? So I don't get what he's trying to do with the players. Is he going young? Is he going old? Then on top of that, he goes and dismantles a back 4. I keep on saying it, yeah. We built off a strong defense last season. That's what we was. He went and dismantled it. And you know why I'm upset? Because if you really wanted to change De Gea that quickly, Onana that you got in this season was a free transfer last season. Why didn't you make the call when he was leaving Ajax and be like, cool, I'm going to United. You're a free transfer. Come straight in. I'm going to get rid of that keeper De Gea. I'm not really free. What did you need to see? We knew De Gea is an OG. We knew he was an OG. You know what he's capable of. But if you want to go a new way, do it from the get-go. He's gone and dismantled the back 4, that what we were building off. And then on top of that, he's gone and put in a goalkeeper that's going to have to settle.
Let me ask you a question,
Onana has to settle. Yeah.
The thing is with me, though, I listen, people can be Ten Hag out in it. Now, everyone's got their own opinion in it. But my thing is, yeah, I just think for me, where do you go from there? Like, you go and get another Hansi Flick.
Zidane. I wanted Zidane from the get-go. I wanted Zidane. No, I want Zidane, Saeed. I wanted Zidane. Go and get me Zidane.
Zidane is not coming.
Wait, no disrespect.
Zidane, why?
Hold on. Let me say something.
No disrespect. What's he coming to this?
No, but listen to this, Saeed. He had to win with premium players in Madrid. The minute... But listen, this guy needs premium players to wait.
Yeah, but listen, but Erik ten Hag has had
this shit that we have.
Of course he is. Erik ten Hag has had £400 million to spend. Zidane would have worked with Casemiro, would have worked with Varane, would have worked with De Gea, and he would have built. I don't think his signings would have been Erik ten Hag signings. I'm looking at the player profile, and I'm looking at what Zidane would have added on top of what he had. Zidane, what was Zidane would have done with Ronaldo? You're telling me
the system.
No, Saeed, but at least the player profile. Okay, cool. But I'm just looking at what he would have built on of Bruno, Ronaldo, Casemiro, like all of these players, Varane. What would have? I'm just looking at Zidane, and you know why I say this?
The best.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Everybody was watching lyrical. Hold on a minute.
No, Saeed, listen to this.
Ten Hag. Everyone wanted Ten
Hag. But you just asked me where to go. Let me show you something. Saeed, let me show you something. The last 10 years since Alex Ferguson left, Alex Ferguson, I think, won the league on 89 points. The only other manager I think that's even got to that was Jose Mourinho, I believe. He's the only person that's got to 80 points. And that's when he finished second. Alex Ferguson, in this last season that he left, we won 28 games that season. The only coach that got closer, that was Jose Mourinho on 25 games. He won 25 games that season. No one else is. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the only one that broke the 20-game barrier of winning 20 games. What I'm saying to you is this: it's not a coincidence. What I'm saying to you is not a coincidence that these OG managers that's been there and done that. And this is why when Jose told man that this was,
I think you need to realize who Man United are in a minute. You need to realize.
No, but Saeed, I'm trying to say this is the same. Let me tell you, Saeed.
1 second, Musa. I just want to remind
you. Quickly.
Just 1 second. I just want to correct you on one thing, and I'll let you go again. One of the reasons why we got Ten Hag is because we seen him make something out of certain players in Ajax that we didn't really rate. We were like, you know what? He can work with lesser players and potentially develop them, improve them, or even just get them back to form. Which is why we got, because he did that with Haller, he got that with Tadic, and he did that with a lot of younger players. This is me, by the way, not dissing Zidane, because a lot of people in the comments saying, no way, you're downplaying Zidane. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're a Zidane, you need a club that's going to back you, not even 100%, 1,000%, and get you the best in each position. Because if you slack for any bit, you're not going to win anything. No, but that's not what I'm saying. United is not going to back Zidane like Madrid was backing Zidane. They're not giving him bail.
Our manager's been backed. Our manager's been backed.
Not the way
our manager's been backed, man. When you can spend, no.
He's been back to be better than what we have. He's not necessarily been back to say, all right, go and win the Premier League, win the Champions League. But we've seen what he did last year.
I'm just saying,
we've seen that.
That's it. That's it.
Know your role, man.
No, but what I'm saying to you is this: when your club.
Yeah, what I was trying to say to you, Musa, I big up HK Music, by the way. Ollie played partner bus football, but we're trying to play football with man who can't not do it. This is always This was always going to happen. Yeah.
No, this is
I'm tired of that, man. I'm tired.
Again, the reason why it's a myth because with less of his players, he played better football and got better results. No, this was not the conversation at the end of last season.
Are they actually lesser?
Was the deficiency? No. I'm talking about less of his players. There was less of Ten Hag's players in the squad that he's dealing with. So he has less of his own tools and was still getting results. Was there still deficiencies in the squad? Yes. Could the football still have been better? Yes. But all I'm saying is he made the team functional. At worst, if you are spending 400 million, the team should at least be functional. Get me back to last season where we were defensively solid and we tried to nick goals. And I go, you know what? We kind of got it wrong in the summer window. That's gonna happen from time to time. Just back up the season you had last season. If we were to finish, we finished third last season. If we were to finish fifth and win a Carabao Cup, I go, you know what? It's not ideal, but it's a trophy again. But the next summer, make sure you get it right. You can be functional. That's why I don't hear this about the players. I'm not asking for, you know what I'm saying, prime Sir Alex Ferguson football. I'm asking you lot to just be a resilient football side who are organized. You can take 11 of the worst players in the world and make them organized. Yeah, go on, Musa.
And you know what happens? Listen, go on.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
I want to say, in world sport, and world football, we've seen it time and time again where players stop doing what got them to the top. And you think to yourself, go back to basics. It also happens to managers. We like you just said there, we got Erik ten Hag in for a particular reason because of how he improves players, how he's able to get the best out of them, how he can play a certain type of football. But since he's come to Man United, it's like he's second guessed himself. This fact that he's able to be flexible and change his systems is playing with his mind. Ten Hag, get back to basics. Stop playing games. Because if we ask you, okay, who's Erik ten Hag improved since he's come in? Who's improved under Erik ten Hag?
And the crazy part is about that, Musa. If you ask me that question last season, I could name multiple players because he had multiple players performing to a much better level.
We've regressed.
But you know what it was though? I believe those players. But you know what it is? When a player has already hit that ceiling previously in his career, he needs to do something that he's never done. For me to be like, okay, cool, right, I never saw that happening. But when I've seen Wan-Bissaka clamp players before we got him in, and then he starts clamping them for Erik ten Hag, he's doing what we got him in. This is why we got him in.
Forget the reason why I disagree with that is because I seen Wan-Bissaka invert You know what I'm saying? I seen Wan-Bissaka at times last season be competent on the ball and be a part of attack. The point that I'm making is I know these Musa, I'm saying like the players are not good enough. But the point that I'm making is I watched us.
No, I don't agree. I don't agree they're not good enough, man. I think
these players
I think you know what I heard today. Someone today. Go on.
These players are inconsistent. There's a ceiling that the manager can get to. Like with these players, there's a ceiling that they can get to. I believe still the manager wanted another centre back. You can clearly see that, and he also wanted another striker. They didn't happen. They did not happen. It's evident.
When I say they're not good enough, I'm talking about going to compete and win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. When I talk about this team,
I agree with you. But you know what? I'm hearing people saying like, can our team can Man United's players get into the Villa squad? Can they get into the Spurs team?
That's too
like,
far.
What's going on? Man saying, can we get into the first? Man's really. I'm thinking. Go on.
Musa, that's people doing too much. You know what it's like. Emotional fans.
Yeah, and this is what I'm trying to say to you. Like, if we're looking at this Man United, and I keep on saying it, Amrabat is going to fall victim. Everyone said Amrabat, World Cup, blah, blah, blah. Saeed, there's another thing before I forget. Remember, I earmarked that Liverpool game. I think it's in December.
Yeah.
I told you, I said, if this guy doesn't get results, and we go to Anfield and they turn us over, he's in trouble. He's not going to survive. Because you see these home games, he needs to be winning them. All these home games we got, we're going to run into a batch of away games where we like 3 away games on a trot. And if we're not winning our home games.
Before you go, Staffy. I'm going to read your super chat. HK says Ten Hag has not fully been back. Getting rid of the players is part of it. We need to get rid of the players as well. Bring in only we got rid of Fred. And Fred, to be honest with you, should not have got rid of him. McTominay, what is his purpose today? What was his purpose in general? Sorry. I know he didn't play today, but what's his purpose in general? Ten Hag is trying to play more progressive than we did last season. The players are a big part of it. They can't do it. We need to get rid of them before the manager. Bro, full stop, man. Full stop. Like, these players are going to bluff another manager. And yes, he is picking them, the same players.
Yeah, but the reason
the
reason why that don't make sense is because the players couldn't play the way he wanted to play last season, so he adapted and had success. Where is this whole thing of the players I currently have can't do the job I'm doing, I'm going to continue to make them do it, and then I'm going to fail? No, you adapt to the situation. Bear in mind, this is now more of your team. The vast majority of that team that played today is either 1 your signings or 2 players you gave new contracts to, or in Bruno's case, gave the captaincy to. What player was out there that he doesn't indeed want or couldn't move on? Onana, is he not his signing? Did he not give a new contract to Delo? Amrabat's his signing. Varane's his guy. Lindelof he kept. Casemiro's his signing. Who else? Who was in midfield? Mount's his signing.
Hoyland.
Bruno's the captain. Yeah. Hoyland's his signing. Rashford's his guy. You brought Palestri into the fold. So this whole thing about, he don't have his guys is a complete myth. And we watched him last season. I agree.
I'm only disagreeing with Musa to an certain extent of where people are saying he's not been totally back to one. I'm just saying there are certain situations. I agree with you. He has been given money, but not to the degree that I think he wanted.
That's a whole different conversation. That's a whole different conversation.
And also, you don't get all your players. You don't get all your players, man. You don't get all your players.
No, but I want to say something because listen, I get the criticism towards Ten Hag, and by the way, I'm not a full defender of Ten Hag. I criticize him on a lot of things, but my main criticism with him kind of falls on the recruitment and some of the players that he brought in. But that's for a different topic. Going back to today's game again, because Musa was talking about it, and he mentioned Ten Hag and all that. I can't really fault the manager a lot when he set you up correctly. I fault him for certain selections based on the performance from last game. But at the end of the day, he still put out a good enough team to keep the ball for 72% of the time, and some of these guys still couldn't create. So as much as we want to sit here and dig in the manager, and I get it, when it's justified, I do it myself too. But what was he meant to do today when he's putting on certain players that should be going good enough, and they're rated by most of the fan base, and they still can't create chances, they can't get shots on target, they can't make the correct runs, and they're giving up the ball in silly situations. He is to blame for certain things, but we could sit here on a different show and be like, let's talk about Ten Hag's recruitment. You know what? You shouldn't have signed this guy. You shouldn't have signed that guy. In the overall scheme of things, yes, I get that. But when you talk about this game in isolation, what was Ten Hag meant to do? Was he supposed to come on and put the ball in the back of the net? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Bruno should have been on the right wing. Hannibal should have started. These are little tweaks that I would have made. But I still think that today, the 11 that were on the pitch should have been good enough to put the ball at the back of the net. And when they didn't, I would rather spend that time and energy talking about these players that didn't do a good enough job. Because Pellistri played today, not gonna lie, he didn't look good. I don't even like Pellistri like that, but a lot of people said he should start. He start. I said put Bruno on the right wing. If he wants to spam the ball from the right wing, do that and leave Hannibal there because he's been our engine. We kept the ball today. We didn't create enough. So I got to look at my creators. Who are my creators? Is Bruno my number one creator? He's supposed to be. Did he do enough today? I don't think so. Then I could look at Mount. Is Mount a creator? Listen, some people told me he is. I don't think he is. But if people think he is, why did he not create enough today?
People saying, the thing is with me, with Mount, people, I don't know how I got absolutely destroyed on Twitter, I said he's running around a lot, but he isn't really doing anything. But people said no, he's occupying space, and he's, you know what I mean, he's drawing other teams. I'm like, can we create them midfielders? Like, this is what I'm saying. Why are we kind of like glorifying like such
little
mediocrity?
things.
Like we're just running around and we're making space.
Because
like,
you know why?
I don't get it.
People
Impact,
don't want it. People don't want
65 million.
Saeed, I know you're being serious. It's because, people just don't want to admit that he's not that good. That's what it is, man. It's Manchester United. We all love the club. And some of us can like take off the red tinted glasses and see players and things.
And the thing is, Hannibal could have done the exact same thing Mount could have done today. If you swap the two players, you literally, Hannibal would do the same thing Mount done. But because it's Mount, everyone wants to glorify it. Because it's a signing, everyone wants to glorify it. I'm just looking at it objectively. I'm like, yo, I don't think it was great. Against Palace in the midweek, I could say, you know what, Mount was good. But this today, I'm sorry, man. Like, we're just literally glorifying simple things.
You know why, Sai?
Yeah, well, we need to do things and actually impact the game. Well, blame the manager, blame this, blame that.
That's what I'm saying.
And this
some of these players...
HKN, bro. I'm sorry, this is his signing, bro. Mount is his signing. I don't think it's a club signing.
Okay, but let's say, even though I agree with you, Saeed, Mount is definite. Mount, no. But for argument's sake, let's say it's true, and Mount's not his signing, and he was a club signing. Guess what the manager should do at that point? If you're if you're being forced to give him players, first you should say no, and if they still force the player within the squad, guess what you do? You leave, and then when you leave, you say, because I am forced to manage players I don't want. They are signing players that I don't want who fit my system. Because you know who's going to suffer if that is indeed the case? Ten Hag. It's his reputation that takes the hit, not the people that are signing these players. It's on him. So that's why I don't hear this with this club signing. I don't hear this at all. Stop making excuses. People love to make excuses.
I hear that. And back to Saeed's point. Listen, Saeed, I think the main issue is we have certain players that they're good at certain things. They're not good in too many things that make them world-class players. People sit here and they always make the argument at Bruno that he's one of the best in creating. Look at his numbers in terms of creating, blah, blah, blah. And then you mention other stuff like, okay, his passing, his dribbling, his ball progression. They ignore that, and then they just keep going back to that point. Same thing with Mount. He's good at a few things. And when they do it well, they glorify it. But when you look at the bigger picture, yes, you can do a little bit of what you do well that looks good. And then you could do a little bit of what you do and it looks good, but collectively it doesn't benefit the team. Like Mount had a good Mount performance. It doesn't mean it's a good performance in general. Like, I don't think it's a good performance, but for Mount, for what I know Mount is for, this was a good Mount performance. But if you compare him to certain players that I think I need in this team for us to win, he's nowhere near what I need. And that's the biggest issue. Rashford will have a few dribbles a game, maybe will score one goal after a stinker. People are like, see, he's one of the best in our team in scoring goals. But how about everything else that he doesn't do? But we glorify individual performances so much and little things that all of our players are just good at. Same as Wan-Bissaka. Oh my God, he's so good at slide tackling. Bro, how about everything else? No, but hear me. He's so good at slide tackling. I didn't need a slide tackle to win today. I needed someone who can whip the ball into the box, but he didn't do it.
Quality,
and that's why this whole team is just not functioning, bro.
Now, the quality is missing, guys, man. And like I said to you, man, the bench ain't great anyway. Garnacho, for me, you could argue is the only one that you could be like, yeah, it might give you something. Martial, again, he's one of them, like, you need a little bit more time for him to kind of develop and do something. We even had two players up front today. And it still didn't work. You know what I mean? I don't know. Either these players are not following the manager's orders or these players are just not good enough.
They're not good.
I'm starting to think it's the latter. Yeah,
how many
good enough.
times, Saeed, are you gonna, sorry to cut you off, gonna do live streams, or Staffy's gonna do a live stream, or I'm gonna do a live stream, or other content creators, and we just remix the same title over and over in regards to questions with these titles? How many times are you gonna say certain things, Saeed? Same with Staffy, same with Musa, myself, other people in the chat as well. But where the manager falls at fault is he's sticking with these players who have failed time and time and time again. Like, they're just not good enough. And that's okay. Like, again, but that's not an excuse not to be an organized unit and not be a functioning unit, because you can do that, because there's teams with less talent than us that function better. 110%. There's teams with less talent than ours, because we're not the worst side we're nowhere near the worst side in the league. Like, when everybody's fit and available, nowhere near in terms of just raw talent. Nowhere near. When you got the likes of Varane, Casemiro in your squad, just use those two as examples. But they played like they're just not good. How many times, man? You mentioned Martial. How many years has Martial been here? We've watched Bruno for X amount of years. We've got Rashford for X amount of years. Luke Shaw, even though he didn't play today, for X amount of years. Dalot for X amount of years. The new players I give a blight to because you're new. But once you've been here 3-4 years, we can kind of gauge your level and see where you're at for the football club. It's like, just move them on. And the manager's not done that.
The fact that we have to talk about Martial today, and listen, I love Martial. I think he's technically he's a very good player, and I really wanted him to succeed at the club. But the fact that I still have to sit today and talk about, well, Martial, when he came on, this and that, bro, it's 2023, and I have to talk about Martial. Martial debuted when I was it was my first year of college, and I still have to talk about Martial again. If he should have played or not, and what does he give us off the bench or not? Like, we need something different. We need quality players in this team, and we're talking about some players. Bro, most of these guys have been here 5 years plus, and you're not winning. Who stays in a club for 5 years plus and you're not winning? I bet you if you go around the league, or just like all the 5 European leagues, and you look at some of the players, you're going to find some players that have been there 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Anyone who's been there over 5 years, that must be a very good team. They're winning. That's why they're keeping them. We keeping players and we don't win.
It's true. Sorry to cut you off, but that is true what you're saying. Before I kind of give you some damning facts here, big up to HK Music. We're never going to learn with these players and shit. We've signed more contract extensions, Shaw, Rashford, Dalot, then got rid of players, Fred. And big up to Demario said, these players think changing managers is not a solution. We tried that many times and it never works. At one point, these players will take responsibility. Facts. One thing is crazy, guys, and this is how damning it is, man. This is our worst start in 34 years. Like, don't get me wrong. We've had bad managers, We've had bad starts. This is the worst start in 34 years. I want to look at the Premier League table, but I'm scared to look at where we are in the league.
No, don't. You know what I'm saying?
We are 10th.
We're above Chelsea.
10th.
Hey, we're above Chelsea, though. I was going to say, we are above Chelsea. That is a bonus. We are above Chelsea.
It's crazy, man. Chelsea. Literally, Fulham could be above us. Nottingham Forest can be above us this weekend. If Nottingham Forest beat Brentford, they're above us. If Fulham beat Chelsea, they're above us.
Hey, top of the bottom half of the league, man. Let's go.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy. You know what it is here with me here today? Like,
go on, Saeed.
I don't think I ever thought we were going to score today. That's the damning thing today. Like, I never thought we were going to score today. Like, once that goal went in, I just thought, this is a long day. Like, I just never felt it. Even when Garnacho, when he put it into the box, and then I don't know how nobody was at the end of the box as well, by the way. Just crazy. The positional sense from Man United as well, by the way, is just shocking. Like, these men actually don't know, like, you know what? If I go at the end of the box, like, might get a goal. They're all just together. Like, they hurdle together. There was a bit where Maguire, did he not get the ball off Garnacho or someone, and he kind of hit it.
It was the last one of the game. Yeah, he passed it.
Oh my God!
He passed that. It hit
Garnacho.
Yeah, it just
sums up the football. It sums up everything that is wrong with this football club. Like, we are so bad. Like, genuinely, guys, we are bad, and nobody should be positive about this. Like, genuinely, you can not be maybe not so reactionary, but again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But you know what? Do not. What's the word? Like, it's so bad at the minute. Like, oh my God, man. And I come out the ground thinking it was raining, it was piss wet through. Like, Manchester was awful today. And I was just like, damn.
That story
like, we are bad. And you know what? Ten Hag has got a lot to sort out. Galatasaray, Champions League, I'm not even confident. Brentford away is similar Brentford at home is similar to Crystal Palace.
Brentford at home.
You know, Crystal Palace will do the same thing. They will sit back. They
Brentford
will hit us on the
same
counter
thing.
with what's his name? The brother at the front.
Mbumo or Wissa? Mbumo.
Wissa and Mbumo. They will sit there and they will break with us. That's all they will do. They'll have one chance and they'll score. And we'll be doing the same thing again and again and again and again. And then Brentford will probably get a draw. We are rubbish. That home form that we had.
Man said we are rubbish.
No, I'm being serious. That home form that we
I know
had,
you are, fam. You just cracked me up when you
That's
say
why
shit.
we're laughing.
I know you're being
serious,
yo. You are serious. I didn't mean to, man. That means we are rubbish.
That home form that gave us a bit of comfort.
Gave
that
us
home
life.
form was a bit of a conflict banquet.
Yeah,
it was like, you know
100%.
what, guys? Don't worry. We got the home form. We got the home form. That home form is gone. Back-to-back losses. There's no home form. If we're questioning the board at this point, why are we trusting the manager's side? Why are we trusting their manager's signings?
Because the manager's got signings right. That's why.
Yeah.
You watch the manager's signings work last season.
We're criticizing now. It's wrong. We're criticizing it now because it's wrong.
What?
It's wrong and it's wrong and it's wrong. I am not understanding. Like, I'm telling you right now, the signings, which I say, Højlund for me, everybody was like, be toxic positive about Højlund. Like, Højlund's the one. I said, go get Vlahovic because I said I wanted goals, yeah? But I said, you know what, yeah? I'm going to take Højlund. And I'm not trying to diss Højlund here, but I said, guys, relax. He's not ready. He's not going to score you 20, 25 goals. But everyone said, oh, but he's going to be good. You know what I mean? He's going to link up, play well. Okay, cool. Mount signing. I said, young man, I don't think we need him. We need someone better than what you call it, than Mason Mount. Someone that's not similar to Bruno Fernandes. Onana, I hear you. I like that signing. I think he will come good. What's the other one that we signed? Who else have we bought?
Amrabat.
Is that it? And Amrabat, for me, he will be a good signing. But unfortunately, he's playing left back now at the minute, and that's not working right now. Today, I felt for me, I'm not saying he got exposed yet, but today he struggled in certain areas where I think for me, he could have done, like defensively, the foul for the goal, he should not have gave that. Too rash there. And I think at the end as well, he got caught out as well in the end. Again, I'm going to let that slide. It's not his position. But bro, like, he's just going to bring in Anthony, yeah? Ten Hag is going to bring in Anthony. And I'm not even going to lie to you, we might even be worse. Because this guy doesn't have output and is not playing well, Anthony. He hasn't played well for us consistently enough. So I don't know, but I think it's going to get worse for Ten Hag. Because he's going to think in his head, this is the solution. But in reality, I don't think it will be. Rant over.
I know we just signed
we was letting you go. That was a legendary rant, man. We was letting you get it off your chest, man. This is your show, Unfiltered podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that like button. This is Saeed TV at its best. This right now is what this channel was built off. You know what I'm saying? Was Saeed being honest, truthful, raw, and completely uncut. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Sarcasm CET. 100%, man. Uncut. You have to change the name from the Unfiltered podcast
TV.
to man, Saeed Uncut TV, Unfiltered Uncut TV. That's where we're at right now.
This is gonna be on the Big Six, by the way. You know, Scott.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna get my Bally for that one. The Bally's coming back out. The Bally's coming back out, man. Onyeka said, sorry, I'm talking about the board signing managers. Okay, yeah. 100%. I get you. I get you that. But there's no balance in the team. That's the problem. We allow Ten Hag to do what he wants. Adrian says, big up Flawless Staffy and the Flawless Saeed. And Saeed, are you still flying out the country after each United loss? This season will be a world tour for you. Bro, I'm telling you, it may be a world tour this season. And someone's asking me here, Saeed, deep down you want Ten Hag out. Just say it. Well, I'm not going to say it. How about that, yeah? Because for me, I don't think that's the solution. I genuinely, listen, you could be Ten Hag out, yeah? But I genuinely promise you, 10 months from now, 18 months from now, you'll be calling De Zerbi out. You'll be calling Hansi Flick out. You'll be calling... Who else is out there, the flavour of the month? Who's the flavour of the month right now? Who's the next manager?
It's definitely
De Zerbi. Hansi Flick. You will be calling that manager out. I promise you. It's okay. It will be good. It will give you like a good boost. You'll get a bit of satisfaction from it. You'll be buzzing. It'll be all good. But sooner or later, what will happen is that manager will get out
Sounds
the
like
door before
sounds like
certain players. Rinse and repeat.
Sounds like he was describing a one night stand there to an extent. You know what I'm saying? It'll give you a buzz. You know what I'm saying? It'll be good for a while, and then you
There
just
you
keep
go.
it stepping. That's
Then
what
you're
it
gonna be
sounded
calling
like.
for it.
No manager can fix us, man. I just think for me, I said to people,
disagree with that. I disagree.
Nah,
with
the Flores, the managers that can make us a little bit better compared to today.
Fixes. Yeah, better football. Better football. We play better position. But ultimately, as a football club and where we're trying to go, we're not going to go anywhere, man. Like, genuinely, I mean that, guys. Like, Ten Hag, I really, really thought this was the guy.
I hear that. The reason why I disagree with that is because we spend enough money not to go and forget sustainable winning at the highest level. But we spend enough money to compete at the highest level. 110%. The managers have got it wrong. That's not on the Glazers. I think are our managers given the best possible platform to succeed? No. But are they given enough money to succeed? Absolutely. How much is Ten Hag spent? 400 M's.
400 million,
400 million. And Ollie spent what? 400 million. And Mourinho spent what? 400 million. And well, Moyes didn't get to that because he wasn't here that long. But the point I'm making is we spend enough money to compete at the highest level. We just don't because the money is spent poorly. Now, is that part on the club? Yes. But that's also part on the managers as well, because we've seen the managers spend that well and get the best out of their players. Lisandro Martinez is A1 example. No one knew of, very few people knew of Lisandro Martinez. Everyone knew we needed a centre-back. I didn't see anybody in no comment section or anyone talking about, go get Lisandro Martinez. He was a revelation for us last season. There's other players out there like that. So this whole thing of like, we can't compete because of the ownership, nonsense. Of course we can. It's just very tough. We get sustainable.
It's tough. It's tough. It's going to be tough. And I can't lie to you, I hear people, that will say we'll get a bit of short-term success, that manager can make differences. But you know what? There'll be areas where the manager will always be shortchanged. The manager will always be kind of pulled back. He will have his behind his back. There will always be a point where every single manager will have the same problem that every single other manager hasn't succeeded in.
Yeah.
Every single time. And that, fair enough, is what you need everything to go for you. Everything.
And the thing is, I hear you, Saeed, but then in agreement, I think the fan base, and if we fell short simply because of our ownership, I think the vast majority of our fan base will go, you know what? We only fell short because of lack of quality. We are not falling short solely because of lack of quality. We are not the 10th best team in this division. We're not. There's no way we should be going 5-6 years without a trophy. At this moment in time, I will take short-term success. Run me FA Cups and Carabao Cups for the next 2 years. 3 years.
But we can do that. I think Man United can do that. But the problem is, though, are we going to win Premier Leagues? Are we going to win Champions Leagues? Yes or no?
I think we can compete. Okay, I think if we set up correctly. Here's why it's not too ambitious. Because if we actually had spent our money well and then are on the favorable side of
that's the main issue then.
It's spending the money well, yes, but that's also on the managers. The managers have spent it poorly. What manager have we had that's had
that also comes back to the club clause. I agree with you, but that also comes back to the club, because when we're trusting the manager with 400 million on his own, and no disrespect, you're not Pep coming into this league, and I'm like, we used to do it with Sir Alex, but Sir Alex was an OG. He was different. He had David Gill. Him and David Gill were running the club on his own.
The point I'm making is 400 you don't to get to say a Champions League last stages. Sometimes all you need is a functional team. Did AC Milan and Inter Milan not both reach a semi-final last season? They are not special teams. They're functional teams. They're not great sides. Neither of them two are great sides. We watched Inter Milan get to a Champions League final because they were on the favorable side of the draw. Yes, you're looking for things to go in your favor. But the point I'm making is we invest more than Inter Milan. We wouldn't swap our team right now for Inter Milan's. What are we doing here? As bad as our side is. No one went saying that at the start of last season, yet they made it to a Champions League final. Yes, they lost to Manchester City, but once you're in a final, anything can happen. The point that I'm making is we can be an organized and functional unit. That's solely on the manager.
I hear that.
That's solely on the manager. I'm asking for the basics. Once you get the basics, then we go from there.
I hear you. I hear you. I think for the short term results, I think any manager can get them because of what Man United can give you and the money they can give you. But the problem for me is that I just feel like the short-term results won't give enough satisfaction for United fans. They want more. And when you have when you get the Carabao Cup, you then want more. And I think that more United won't ever get. I'm sorry. We won't. That's just a simple, kind of principle that I have in my head is that every manager won't succeed here. Because this football club is just toxic, it's finished. And you know what? I'm just tired of it, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like we as fans now, we're saying sack the manager. And then what will happen is another manager will come in and we'll want him sacked. There's no stopping. How many managers are going to fail? For me, cannot stand the fact that the Glazers can sack another manager before they're gone. I can't.
Exactly.
We can't allow that. As a fan base, we can't allow them to sack another manager.
The only time, I was going to say, the one time I'll say it's okay. Listen, we need Ten Hag to succeed. Let's just be very honest. We can't afford to change another manager because they're not coming into a good foundation. This is why when Said is saying this, he's saying he doesn't want to say Ten Hag out because he knows the importance of Ten Hag working. There's no point of getting rid of another manager until you get rid of the Glazers. He is speaking facts. You can't get rid of another manager, bring him in, and do this whole thing all over again with the Glazers. The minute Ten Hag going out will be acceptable in my mind is if we bring in Qatar and they just need a clean slate from the beginning. Qatar comes in, they're like, listen,
apparently
everyone is out.
2 weeks, apparently.
Yeah,
everyone else is out,
especially
the manager.
2 weeks.
Like clockwork. United losing ownership.
Yeah, this always comes up when we lose, just for good news. I don't read into this anymore. But the only time that the manager leaving is being a good thing is if we get the Qataris in. Because listen, when new owners come in, they buy a new business, they get rid of everyone. Elon Musk did that with Twitter. He's like, everyone is out. I'm hiring my own people. That's the only time I'll be like, you know what? I'll trust the ownership. Yeah. They think now that they're in here, they're gonna put a whole new staff from top to bottom, including the manager. It's all good. Ten Hag out. But as long as the Glazers is here, anyone who says Ten Hag out, you're just delaying the inevitable again and again and again. Yeah. And the inevitable is that we won't win anything major with these guys in here. I see what you're trying to say, but I won't go that
to an extent. The reason why we have to, because then we can't have the manager become bulletproof. He has to be held accountable for his poor results. He can't go on a terrible, like, basically this run can't continue and he keeps his job. That can't happen. Well, we lost 4 and 8. Let's say he loses 4 out of his next 8.
Okay, what about this?
He can't.
If you think big up to GD, do you think Ten Hag will stay if we have 10 losses by January? I'm not gonna lie. If he stays and he has 10 losses by January, he will be the luckiest man on earth.
Yeah. How many games would it be by January we would have played in the Premier League? That's what we need to do the math on, because then it gauges it. How many games is it?
Yeah, that's not in the chat. Anyone got quick maths? Quick maths, people, man. Yeah, I'm guessing it's what. So what we on right now? What game are we on right now?
7.
With 7. So play 7 games.
I can Google this.
October,
I'm acting like I can't Google this.
Yeah,
one second. I'm gonna just Google it. I'm acting like I don't have the information here.
2 or 3.
Give me
20.
second.
People are saying 20. Is it 20?
So he would have lost half.
I don't know, man. 19. Yeah, 18 to 20. 18 to 20.
If he's lost 10 out of 18 or 20, do I think he still has a job? No. I don't think he has.
No, I'm sorry, man. Even for me, I can't lie to you. Even for me, the biggest. I'm not saying like what do you call it? Like it's untenable. What's the word? Is it untenable?
Yeah,
untenable. Your job becomes untenable. There's literally nothing any guy can say that he doesn't deserve to be sacked like that. That is sackable. 10 games out of 20. Come on, man. We can't be doing that, bro. We can't be doing that. It's you know what I mean. The book has to stop, mate. Just for the whole season, because that might be relegation form, mate.
But would you rather stick with him, Saeed, and have another Arteta situation, or would you just get rid of him? Because if we're being very honest, that's the same thing Arsenal went through for 2 years, actually.
I think for me, they'll get an interim. You get interim until the end of the season, and then you get a proper manager in the summer. You can't, for me. I don't think there's any manager right now. Yes, maybe. What's the German manager? I forgot his name. Hansi Flick, but again, for me, Hansi Flick, like what Germany? Again, listen, man, I know Bayern really whatnot, but bro,
but we can't, man. It is, but the manager can't be bulletproof. Like if he's taking L's, you have to go. Because we say the same about players, like we can't, like we can't, like as much as it's not ideal with the Glazers being in charge and the crooks. All right, relax,
interim Ralph.
You doing too
much,
bro.
I'm telling you, man. Because then he can expose the football club and get out again.
He's gonna.
I'm telling you, man. I think Ralph is season, mate, and then expose the football club again, man. And then you know what I mean. We start finding out the home truths, mate. I'm telling you, man. That's what this football club needs. And then hopefully the Glazers can go. Jalapeno says that we've been unlucky with injuries. impacts the team seriously. Only City can have 5 injuries in defense and still remain competitive. No other team can. I'm not gonna lie to you. I hear you, but at the same time, I don't think it gives me any feeling about today. Today we should have won. Like, I get injuries, and you know what? He's been unlucky with injuries. The amount of injuries that we've got is shocking. But home games, you have to still win it against a Crystal Palace team that had Mateta, Ayew, and Schlupp up front. I'm sorry, man. It doesn't
I'm
bode
sorry
well
we
with me.
didn't lose because of the defense today. Anyways, why does the injuries in the defense have to do with anything? They scored off a set piece, and as I said again, we didn't win because we couldn't create and put the ball in the back of the net. If I had the ball for 72% of the time possession, then I have to blame my attackers. We didn't concede today because we were just so bad defensively. We had the ball, we just didn't do anything with it. So I'm not looking at defense.
There you go. There you go. Yusuf Ibrahim says, what manager can fix us flawless? Which football institution gave Rashford 375 grand a week? Painful, man. This board celebrates commercial rationale over football rationale.
I'll say to this in regards to which football manager. I'm not a football manager scout, so I can't answer that question. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint the next guy who's going to be because I'm not watching football outside of the Premier League like that to really analyze. Secondly, yes, the board isn't the best, but all boards make mistakes. Just pinpointing them saying, 375k a week. Okay, then City let Lavia go for free. Is that a great decision? They're the best institution in Europe, according to most. Did they not just let one of the best young central midfielders, even though he's injured right now, go on a free? And then he's gone and strengthened one of their rivals and could have went to Liverpool. We've seen all the same way the City board, did they not sanction Claudio Bravo? The list goes on. Did they not sanction the Gomez guy they've got the fullback? Or let's not do this like all boards don't make mistakes. Yes, our board make more mistakes than others. We all know how bad the board is. We did not lose today because of the board. You know what I'm saying? We did not lose today because of the board.
That one you had to stress. That one you had to stress.
I dislike how because when we beat Palace, we don't praise the board when we win. So don't criticize them when we lose.
So that's why I came on and I tried to talk about the game because I was like, guys, this is two different conversations. We can talk about the bigger picture, but let's talk about what I've seen in the 90 minutes today. And a lot of people don't talk about it.
To this, who's talking about Inter Milan's team's better. But the point I'm making when I say we wouldn't swap it is we don't look. Let me just clarify further. We don't look at that Inter Milan side and go, right, I want that side because if that puts us as favourites to win the Champions League. Inter Milan are in the Champions League this year, right? I'm correct in saying that, are they?
Yeah.
They're nobody's favourites.
They're top of Serie A as well.
They're nobody's. Okay, they're top of Serie A. They made the final last year. They're nobody's favourites. They're in nobody's top 5. They're nobody's dark horses to win the competition. That's the point I'm making. No one's looking at Inter Milan side and going, yes, I want that. Like, we'll look at the Real Madrid side and take that. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
But yet they made a final. This is the point. So you don't need to necessarily have the best team to go and compete in the Champions League. You can get a favourable running. But hey, we move.
Yeah. A couple of super chats here. Abdi Sheikh, big up to you. Goes, let's be real. Ten Hag needs to leave now. He holds high standards for Sancho, but Rashford and Bruno play every game after poor performances. Out. You know what? Fair play to Abdi Sheikh here. He's been Ten Hag out for a while. So listen, you can talk your talk. And ultimately, you are spot on, bro, about the favourites. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's getting too much now. It's getting too much. They have to come off, or they have to be dropped as well. If we're so shit right now, you know what? What's the point? Like, you might as well just play Garnacho and them, man. You know what I mean? Start them off and then put Rashford as an impact player and then win games like that. Do that then, because at the end of the day, nothing ain't solving when you start them anyway. It's counterproductive right now because we're not getting any opportunities and players are being greedy. Megan says here, United fans are so fickle. We are playing for exertions of last season. This is exactly what happened to Klopp last year. Look at Liverpool now. But you know what? Liverpool got credit in the bank, man. Klopp's got credit in the bank as well. Big credit in the bank.
Liverpool, who it took to be down to 9 men and concede a last-minute goal to be defeated. What do you mean? That arguably the second best team in the league. By the way. What we tell? Yeah. Liverpool fans hold that. I love to see it, but let's not do that. You know what I'm saying? What are we doing?
HK missing. Man United need a season where we are in Europe to work on things on the training ground, bro. I said it to Lurid, and I think for me that you know what, there's enough time in the day. Like, if I've got 24 hours to do my job here, and we ain't using them 24 hours, like, use your 24 hours in it, like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm telling you now, like, bro, we got training, but the problem is though, what happens in training, yeah, never reflects on the football pitch. You're playing with your boys, man.
Because
this is
you know why? Because them players are not good enough. This is not Dragon Ball Z. You can't go in the hyperbolic time chamber for Dragon Ball Z fans. You know what I'm talking about. I know I'm talking a foreign language to others, and all of a sudden just train and you level up. Football don't work like that. Some of these players can train all they want and put in maximum effort. If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. It's like me. It's like Manchester United signing me. And I put in maximum effort and I'm training every day. Guess what? I'm not good enough to play for Manchester United. No matter how much training you do. Too much focus on it. Like, you have to have some form of just raw talent there. And then you work upon that in training. What are we doing, man? Come on.
Yeah. People say Skullfugger is lurking. Bro, man. Yeah, United need a season of football, bro. That's what we need. Yeah, you know what? You've had the first time you've actually had a good contribution here, mate. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, you're having a valuable contribution. United need a season of football, bro. I'm telling you, we need just to go outside, yeah, and get some fresh air, man, and just not worry about football, man. Facts. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. I'm telling you right now, like, it's just, it's peak, man. It's peak. You can't discount the role of defense today. Amrabat out of position gave away and leader's free kick that wasn't well defended. Injuries. You know what? I don't get it. But Casemiro gave the ball away as well. I felt for me it was self-conflicted, that man. Like, Casemiro gave the ball away, and then Amrabat. You know what's mad, yeah? I think is it Martinez did something as well a couple of weeks ago, similar way, gave away it was against Nottingham Forest, actually. He gave away a foul, similar area as well. I keep shouting, don't foul him. And then what do? They foul him. I don't know. I think these guys are just not listening to me, bro. I'm shouting, don't foul him.
They listened.
Bro, what are you doing? Like, we foul at the most awkward positions, but then we don't foul them when we need to. You know when we need to do that tactical fouling? Like, we don't do that. But then when there's a time, to actually not be fouling, we foul them. And then they score from that one set piece.
Said, how many of these have been due to frustrations though? I know it was early in the game, and by the way, I'm not leaving Amrabat up the hook or anything. But I actually tweeted. If you go to my Twitter site, obviously you can't post it here because it's copyrights. But go later and check it. Casemiro loses the ball, then the whole sequence goes. We win the ball, passes to Casemiro, loses it again right away, and then we have to chase it back again. And I'm like, I'm being honest. If I'm playing with you guys, pick up and Said gives up the ball twice in a row, she might make a stupid foul because now I'm frustrated. Said, you're making me run around like a dog to win the ball every time, but every time I give it to you, you lose it. That was Casemiro. So it's like, I get it. The foul was stupid, but why is one of our main guys in position giving up the ball 2-3 times in a row? And that goes back to Martinez as well. When you talk about Martinez picked up 3 yellow cards in the first 4 games. All 3 of them were frustration yellow cards. Because the guy's like, yo, I've had enough. Why can't you guys keep the ball? Why you keep making the wrong passes? Why do I have to go one-on-one with this striker and this winger and that winger? So it all falls down the same thing at the end to me, you know? And by the way, whoever said that, I think it was Jalapeno or whatever, that guy who sent the super chat, I'm still looking at that goal. I don't think any of us here are jalapenos. I don't think any of us are sitting here and you're like, you know what? We really missed Martinez today. If we had Martinez, we wouldn't have conceded that goal. Or Wan-Bissaka or Shaw. No, we still conceded that goal because it was poor defending on the set piece itself. But we didn't lose the game because of that. We just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. So I'm not using the 5 injuries in the back line as an excuse because we just won midweek. If we can win more midweek, we could have won today again. That's just me, though.
No, I think, you know what it is, And by the way, should we have got a penalty? Because I thought that was very, very dodgy there. I don't know, guys. I didn't watch the game again, but I thought that was a penalty for me, man. It's clear handball for me. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Was that a penalty, guys, in the comments? Let me know in the comments, because I thought, yes, he didn't look where he was going, but some people, they naturally, you know what I mean, try and make it look like they didn't really see the ball. So, guys, I don't know. I thought we should have got a penalty there, man, but listen, man, it's just, oh, man, I'm just frustrated, man. I really, really am, man. I don't see how it's going to get any better, man. Because when you look at this season, Flawless, we have not played well any time this season. Like, genuinely, not one time have we played well.
Not
like,
in the league.
I'm talking about... what the games are there?
I think Forest. I think after we conceded the 2 goals in the 4 minutes, after they hear me out. So forget the first 4 minutes. From when we got the 4 minutes up until we scored the 3rd goal, we was great. The either side of that awful, but we was good for the majority of that game. Dominated the ball, created chances, defended well, up until that point, and then we scored the third goal, and then it went to complete shit. And it was complete shit at the start. But that middle part, like I said, from the 4th minute up until 75th, whenever we scored that third goal and Bruno scored the penalty, I thought everybody was very good. And then the Palace game, but no, we haven't put, to add to your point, we haven't put performances together, good performances, no. But we're not that side.
Had a good 90 minutes,
we win. We're like a boxer who wins ugly. We're never gonna look good. We're not a highlight reel knockout artist. We gonna beat you on points.
We're like AJ now. We fight like AJ, man. You know, I'll be honest with you. I can't like AJ. I think he's lost that kind of bite from me and that kind of like.
That's a pretty good analogy.
Yeah, like AJ now, man. AJ used to have them haymakers. AJ used to knock man down, but now it's more kind of like he's trying to be that boxer that he's not really that guy. You get me, like. So I feel like for me, we fight like AJ right now. I can't. Man United AJ 2.0. Yeah, Imran, you're right. We're like AJ right now.
Yeah.
Is this from before? Yeah, I think this is from before. Can't wait for international break. Bro, every time we can't wait for international break, bro. How about we enjoy now?
You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy now.
Because we don't want to watch our team play.
Already.
Because we don't want to watch our team play. That's why we're waiting for international break. That's when I'm the happiest. I wake up, I'm like, yo, I don't have to watch this diabolical football again. Today's gonna be a good day. Great weekend.
Man. It's a joke thing, man. You know what it is with me, yeah? Like, I feel like for me, every positivity that's in me right now, it's gone, man. Like, every single positivity that I can think of. Like, people think I'm a negative fan. I'm actually not a negative fan, you know. If people know me, I'm quite positive. But you see me when you drain the positivity out of me, I just can't be arsed anymore, man. And this team today, man, like, they got booed off today, and rightly so. Because they did not do enough to win that game.
Obviously, I was watching the mute.
But the fans blew him off, man. Yeah, but Ten Hag said it. Ten Hag said it. He goes here. What did he say here? Let me just pull it out. The comments here from, I think, Fabrizio mentioned it here. 1 second. It's been frustrating. It's frustrating beginning of the season for everyone, especially for the fans, but for us as well. We stick together, fight together, and get better and make sure we get improvements. I understand the boos from the fans. Of course, man. It's not good enough. Everything about Ten Hag this season, it's gone worse. The style of football's gone worse. The substitution management gone worse. What we're doing, our identity has gone worse. And the lack of identity is even more glaring, should I say. Every single thing is glaring. Like this here, it's quite simple. We conceded only 3 chances over the whole game, all 3 from set pieces. Then I think we got in good positions and made poor decisions.
We've been conceding soft goals from set pieces like consistently, and I see us making the same. I see us making the same mistake time and time again. Like I said, the goal we conceded shouldn't happen. Worst case scenario, we should be sat here talking about a 0-0 draw. Because we gifted them that goal. Yeah. Yes, great finish from Anderson, but Lindelof just needs to get out to him. Yes, Amrabat shouldn't have gave away the free kick. I hear that. But when we do give away free kicks, at least let it be a James Ward-Prowse, where he sticks it top bins and you hold your hands up and go, that's just quality. Or the ball's quality and someone rises over Varane, who's aerially decent, and just puts a bullet header past Onana. That's more easy to accept, but we just be giving up goals. Giving up goals to teams. And it's like, that's not acceptable at any level. Never mind Premier League, Manchester United Football Club, but yo, we move. We move.
Rid of Rashford and Bruno ASAP. Sack the coaches and sack Benny McCarthy. So you know what? I can't lie to you. Benny McCarthy this season, bro. What are you doing, bro? Benny McCarthy as well. Bro, I don't know what is he took a day off this. Is he actually took the year off, Benny McCarthy? Like, I've not actually seen him, by the way. Have you actually seen him around? Like, is he been around anywhere? I've not seen him. Like, normally
you tell us.
You get the cameras out. Hey?
I said, you go to the game. You tell us what you see.
I'm not lying to you. I don't see him, you know. I don't know where he is.
He's there. No, he's there. He's been on the coaching. He's been on the coach's bench.
I don't know what he's teaching these players. Because, bro, man are not shooting, bro. Like, how many goals have we got this season, by the way, guys? Do we know
7 and conceded 13, I think.
We've scored 7 and 7.
We've scored 7 and conceded 13.
I'm done. Are you joking me?
No, so I'm not kidding. I think we scored 7. I'll tell you what. Let's go through the games together, okay? We didn't score against Spurs. We didn't score today, so that's 2 dubs. We had 3 against Forest, so that's 3. We had 1 against Arsenal. We had 1 against Brighton. So that's 5. What was the first game we played? Wolves won. There's 1 more goal missing. I don't know. Unless we scored 6. No, I could swear that we scored 7. There's 1 game missing. Oh, yeah, the Burnley. 7. There you go.
Yeah.
7 goals.
And Casemiro is our highest goal, so big up to Tans. That again, you know what? I shamelessly did that on Wednesday, yeah. But I just said, yo, like big up to Casemiro because I felt like for me, people are just taking a mick out of him, yeah. But you know what? Yeah, it's actually damning.
He's our best attacking midfielder. He's our best attacking midfielder. People forget this. You know what I'm saying? He is. Casemiro's still quality, world class. Stand on everything I've said.
You want to hear trying
to get me with this?
You want to hear his defensive stat for Casemiro?
Yeah. Defensively, he's not been that. Go on.
Okay, you want to hear his stat?
Go on. Hit me.
He's made 28% of successful tackles. 28%.
See, that's not it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
not good.
That's bad. That's very bad.
But
that's very bad.
On the flip side, he's easily our best offensive. Easily our best offensive midfielder. So I got it wrong when I said best DM. You know what I'm saying? Best box-to-box midfielder. That's what I got.
He's a box-to-box. He's not a DM.
Yeah. I run with that. So to back to talk football, who's been trying to get at me for whatever reason. Yes, best box-to-box midfielder. I stand on that. Now what? Best box-to-box midfielder in the league. Yes, I said.
You know what's mad? Yeah, Villa
podcast.
Scoring more goals. Brighton scoring more goals. Even though Brighton have conceded 5 goals or 6 goals today, they've probably got a better goal difference on us again still because they score 3-4 a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a joke, man. It's a joke. When you actually deep it, man, it's a joke, you know. And like I said, yeah, I feel like for me, why I think, you know, it's Ten Hag in trouble is that I don't think United will play better. Like, I'm looking at it right now. Yes, the injuries will come back in and whatnot, but I think ultimately, mentality-wise, this team is just fragile, man. And I'm just worried about how Ten Hag can take this team to the next level. I genuinely, like, I'm worried for him, man. And I, you know what? I said to myself, we should win this game. We should do this. We should get on a bit of a run. Today was a time to go on a little bit of a mini run. Like, start off now, 4 home games. We won against Carabao Cup. We win against there. Bro, like...
Then we got Brentford.
You know, we got Newcastle in a couple of weeks.
We got City in a couple of weeks, let alone Newcastle.
City, bro, man. That's crazy, you know. That's crazy, man. Like, these games are winnable games, but this football club does not know, like, they can't even... It's just one game at a time, but we can't even control that. That's the problem. One game at a time right now, and Manchester United cannot control that. It's shambolic, man.
It is shambolic, but that's just Manchester United Football Club for you. Like, we are just like, this is what it is. We're just not very good.
Brentford, Sheffield, and then City, by the way.
So was there any positives today?
No.
There's nothing I took out of today's game.
Nah, there's nothing I look at and go, yeah, that was a positive. Nah. Apart from Højlund still looks bright. Like, he's not been dampened. Every time he plays, he looks like I believe he's gonna score. He's a constant.
He struggled today. You know, when he went sick at Rashford. Yeah, I just felt like for me, like he's frustrated because, and there was one point, where he should have actually played in Rashford, but he took a shot, you know, and I felt like for me, he's like, yo, bully you, man, you ain't passing to me, bro. Like, bully you, like, I don't care, man. Like, generally, there was a point where Højlund could have played Rashford in, and Rashford maybe had a shot there, but he said, you know what, I ain't gonna get another chance, so I'm gonna take that. There was a header that to be fair, I don't know if the header was a bit too harsh. Maybe he should have got it on target, but I don't know how much it came across to him in that regards. But you know what? I'm not putting my hopes on Højlund delivering for Man United. I'm not, because I feel like for me, man's 20 years old, he's coming in, like, and people are going to think that he's that guy. Like, he ain't that guy. He's meant to just, you know, merge into this team. And you know what? We get a bit out of him this season, but then he develops into that player. You can't just expect him to be the Man United's main number 9. Come on, man.
He's too young for it. And our team is not that good. It's not like we put in a 20-year-old in a perfectly functioning team. You know, you could have thrown Højlund into City last season and he would look better. Because the team is already functioning without him. It's easy to bet him in. But when the whole system is still developing and you're bringing in a player who's individually developing, he's only 20 years old, of course he's going to find it hard to struggle. He's going to struggle to fit in, you know? But as far as said, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I look at him and I'm not really worried about him. I'm worried about him from who's around him, but not in terms of what he does individually. Because I've seen him work hard on the pitch. I've seen him get himself in positions. He does what a striker's supposed to do, and he's gonna get better at it. But when he gets only 1-2 chances a game to score, not even clear-cut chances, I can't sit here and be like, oh, he has 0 goals in like 3 Premier League games. Well, how many chances has he got? Has he gotten as many chances as people that are ahead of him? And I don't think he's gotten a fair chance. I mean, you're sitting here talking to me about him fighting with Rashford off the camera or whatever, you know. So what am I meant to expect from him? The guy, it's a graveyard shift for him, if I'm being honest. He's just there doing nothing, you know. No one is supplying him with anything.
Yeah. Big up to Bird Zuna says, great show, guys. Would you possibly want to see Hansi Flick coming in instead of Ten Hag? Bro, Hansi this, Hansi that, bro. Like, I think it's just a flavor of the month, man. Like, people might get gassed here. I might say, my manager. And then later on, be like, oh, we need another manager now. And it's just, we know this is going to happen, guys. Everyone's just going to be like, yeah, man, come on then, let's go then. Come on, Hansi Flick, let's be having you. And then what will happen is, yeah, halfway through next season, yeah, everyone will start to see a bit of maybe naivety and whatnot, and it's not going well. And ultimately, you know, we then have the same issues again. So that's why I just feel like, for me, like I can't for me watch the Glazers sack another manager. I just can't see it, man. And ultimately, you may say that is the only possible reason that has to happen now, because the fact that is, yeah, I feel like, you know, the Glazers aren't going anywhere anytime soon. But maybe you have to suffer until they go. You know what I mean? I don't know when they're going. I don't know if they're going. Like I said, I don't know in it right now. Nobody knows when the Glazers are going.
Exactly.
But ultimately, it doesn't create any kind of positivity or any kind of like, does it give you happiness enough?
But that's why you got to make the best out of a bad situation. If they are indeed here, which, again, Ten Hag did last season. This is why I'm not hearing about it. We watched him do it last season. Was it the best season in the world? No. Was it one of the best seasons? Hey, let's not forget, people got short memories. January, February times, so a lot of this fan base, the vast majority of this chat, were talking about us winning the Premier League. Let's not forget where that manager had
not
you.
Not me.
No, you. Not you. But you got criticized for it, as did I, for saying we can't challenge. They looked at us like we
can't challenge.
Now these same people who looked at us for saying we can't challenge are saying, "Oh my God, the sky's falling down." You can be successful under the Glazers to an extent. Yes, you can. Sustained success, no. Winning trebles and repeats and doubles, and forget about it. But winning one-offs, yeah. Is this team good? Do we invest enough to win Carabao Cups, FA Cups, and compete in the Premier League and Champions League? 110% we do. There's no team that has won those trophies in the past 4 or 5 years that have spent significantly more than us. Manchester City have not spent, if it is more, I don't know the actual numbers, but what I'm saying is it's not like we spent 500 million and they spent 900 million. There's no big gap between the two. So we spend enough. Like, so again, it's on the manager and the people in place. And when I say the people in place, who the manager has around him to get it right. That's all it is. When is Big Six?
Right. So you know what? Big Six is on Monday night at 11 p.m. So make sure you're there in it, because like I said, I'm just tired, man. Like I can't. You know what it is though? I think they know my story in it. Like they know, like we're shit in it. Like that's all it is. That's my kind of analysis in it. Like we are shit, man. And I'm not being gassed again about this team, man. I'm just not doing it, man. I'm not letting them get to me anymore, man. Because I feel like every time you try and say, yeah, man, we're on it, you know what I mean, with this and that, like you just get let down. So I'm not letting this team disappoint me again. I'm not. You know what I mean? Last season I was like third, fair enough. Now let's kick on now. I was like expecting this season I was expecting a lot, you know, man, you know, when you actually deep it, yeah.
You don't think
we were expecting a lot this season?
You don't think these are growing pains? Like, do you not believe that at all? Because it sounds like you completely gave up at this point.
Like, you know what it is, yeah? I'm not giving up on the manager.
I feel him. He's tired. He looks tired. Bro, I don't blame him.
How shit are we, like, for us to just be shit every single time? Like, how shit that we can't even get a wins, like, here and there? Like, bro, this is our worst start in 34 years. But it feels like we've been shit anyway for the past 10 years. And all of a sudden, this now feels the worst it's ever been. How does that compute in our heads? Like,
you know why? Because when you're in a situation that's going bad, it's always worse than what it is. It's always worse it always feels worse than what it is because you're involved in the situation. You're talking about it every day. You're getting bantered about it every day. The chat's reminding you about how bad it is every day. You're being asked questions on how bad it is every day. It can get to you. I hear that because it's just nothing but negativity. Not even negativity, nothing but reality slapping you in the face, whether it's your own fans or rival fans. And you're a realist as it is anyway, Saeed. So you know how bad it is in your heart of hearts. And you're going to openly be honest and talk about it and go, yeah, it's our worst start for 34 years. That's a damning indictment. Like when my guy Murtaza, shout out to Taza, told me, yeah, we've lost 4 games out of 8. I was like, damn, I didn't realize it was that bad. Like, because you kind of forget about the losses type of thing. So,
when you count the Bayern defeat, we've lost 5 of our first 9.
Is it 5 out of 9?
We have lost more than we won this season. Yes.
So NBA team, we below 500. Yeah, we suck.
Bro,
we'd be taken for Wembanyama right now.
I'm not sorry. Say that again. I didn't even hear that.
We lost 5 of 9. Yeah, so we won
5
4
out of 9.
games out of 9. Yeah, that's less than 50%.
Yeah, when you're below 500 in NBA, that means you've lost more than you've won. That's what it is. That's the
NBA
why
term. I said behind under 500.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, under 500. That's right.
Coming up.
Yeah, man. You confident, Saeed? 3-0 win, yeah.
Bro,
did you say
I ain't confident about nothing, man. I'm not even confident about Sheffield United, bro.
I'm clowning. I'm
not confident about nothing about this team, you know. Nothing about this team gives me any confidence at all. Like, nothing about this team just, you know what I mean, what makes me want to believe anymore. It's absolutely rotten to the core, man. Like, everything about this football club is shocking, man. And it ain't going to get better anytime soon. That's just an unfortunate situation, guys. I'm sorry. I have to be blunt today. But today, I've seen a lot of positive fans today, yeah, just absolutely blunt today. Blunt. They were like, you know what? This is it now. It's done. We've had enough. Like, this is it now. You know what I mean, bro? Like, this is it. It's done. Like, and this is fans that were positive. Like, the most positive United fans today were shot to pieces. Like, the most positive.
Ten Hag out was trending. I don't know if you saw that. I said Ten Hag out was trending.
Listen,
no surprise.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I just think again, it's like people are just typing it for the sake of typing it. Like, I think for me, it's just like I don't think it has any meaning to it. You just Ten Hag out. That's why I went mad on Twitter. I was like, you might just saying Ten Hag out, but there's no meaning behind it. Come with meaning, come with substance. It's easy just to type out Ten Hag and say, yeah, Ten Hag out. But what's your plan? What's your plan for Man United? What's your blueprint to success? Every United fan that wants Ten Hag out, you tell me the blueprint for success, and I'll sit here and be like, you know what? Fair play to you, but you're not going to tell me the blueprint for success. You're not. So all these people that are shouting Ten Hag out on Twitter and just, you know, these keyboard warriors and that, because that's what they are, and not giving me any solutions and saying, right, if we go and get Hansi Flick, we are winning the league. If we go and get this manager here, we're going to do better. If you tell me that's going to happen under the Glazership ownership, I'm sorry. You're in cuckoo land, mate. You are absolutely in cuckoo land. If you think any manager's going to come here and win the Premier League under these Glazers, mate, it's not happening. And I was that person a couple of years ago that was like, you know what? Sack this manager, sack that manager. But sometimes you have to open up your eyes, mate, and realize ain't nothing working, mate. Nothing is working. So many bad decisions are being made at the football club. We can't even get rid of Maguire.
Yeah, that's on us. We chose not to, though. That's on us. We chose not to get rid of Maguire. That's our stupid decision.
Again. But you got to realize these things are happening under the Glazers ownership. Like, these things are happening under the Glazers ownership. They're happening, and it's like. And then it's like, okay, well, we'll get through it. But you can't get through it. You have to get rid of everything. Like HK and Musa said there, you have to get rid of everything. Everything you have to get rid of. Every type of toxicity you have to get rid of. To be an elite club, you need to have elite standards. I'm sorry, guys. If you want to be an elite club, you need to have elite standards. And Ten Hag may not be the solution. I'm not saying to you that Ten Hag is the solution. I'm not. But I'm asking you, as a Man United fan, if you're telling me that Hansi Flick is the solution, I'm telling you in cuckoo land, mate, because it ain't going to work.
I think am I being
harsh?
Yeah, I think a little bit, because I think a better manager definitely just gets better results. Yes, a better manager makes better
over what sample size are you using? Are you using the same sample size as what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was to Ten Hag? Maybe that's what it is.
In regards, no, I'm just saying in regards to, let's say the next 2 to 3 years, a better manager. You know what I'm saying? Because Ten Hag, we watched him perform at a higher level and he had success. We all deemed that last season successful that we just had. This season, he's completely fell off. If he was performing to that level or higher, there wouldn't be this conversation. It's because for whatever reason, he's not performing to a high level. Yes, there's varying factors, but a better manager, yes, gets better results. Same way, if you take a better player and put him in a dysfunctional team, he's going to perform to a certain level, not his best. But if you take whoever the best player is right now in Europe and put him in our side, is he going to perform better than our current? Yes. If you put Mbappe in our side, is he going to perform better than all our wingers? Yes. Is he going to perform to the level we've seen him at? Probably not. That's what I'm talking about. It's about improvement. You can't just settle for substandard because everything else is substandard. But
big up to Sophia, is that sustainable? Yeah. That this short term, what we're thinking about?
Oh, we have a short term. Okay, I killed this dead. We keep talking about ownership. Under the Glazers, forget long term. We are having zero long-term success under this ownership because they are not built for it. They don't care for it. So all we are is short-term. You know who else was also short-term? Chelsea. We wouldn't take what Chelsea had under Roman.
That's facts.
What we talking about? Where's this? Where's this? Wait. Hold up. Let me kill something.
Glazers are worse than Roman Abramovich.
No, they are worse than him. The point that I'm making
is for success.
They had short-term success. This long in regards to managers. They had a long-term philosophy in regards to. Actually, they didn't even have a long-term philosophy. Their philosophy was hire manager, win a trophy, bad season, sack manager, hire manager, win a trophy, bad season, sack manager. Apart from Manchester United, there has been in the Premier League era no dynasties.
Well, let me ask you a question though. But he has a better judgment. Roman Abramovich has a better judgment than the Glazers. Simple as that. A is in terms of recruitment and also managers. He has better judgment. Certain managers coming in and giving that. So would they sign Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Would they kind of come in and get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as manager? Not. I know they got Frank Lampard. I know they came in and they came with Frank Lampard. Mistakes, but what they do is they make isolated mistakes. But for the generally, they buy in top managers. Carlo Ancelotti.
But the overall point I'm making is they were short term. Roman Abramovich never hired a manager to be there for 10 years. He never hired a manager to be there for 5 years. You know what? When Roman Abramovich hired a manager for Chelsea, you know what the conversation objective was? Win now. Win now. And if you don't win now, you will be sacked. And we will sack another manager and we will hire another manager and so forth and so forth and so forth. Let
me ask a question though. Look at Roman Abramovich then and look at Chelsea now. I'm not gonna lie to you. Do you reckon these Chelsea fans had the situation with what happened with Roman Abramovich not happened, and he was actually there, and there was no issues with Roman? He would still be their owner right now, and they would not be having the problems that they're having right now in terms of
they wouldn't be because they have better because Roman Abramovich is a better owner. But even some Chelsea fans, if you talk to, even under Abramovich, they went from 2015. When did the sanction happen? 2021. They went 6 years without a trophy. That's a long term. That's a long time for them. Yeah. That's a long time. So the point that I'm making is this long-term sustainability is the league say, thanks. This long-term thing is not sustainable. There's been 2 teams who have built dynasties. We're currently watching City build one now in terms of long-term, and Ferguson did it. Not every other manager, even if the aim was long-term, never had sustained period of. Wenger won 3 league titles. Klopp has won 1 league title. What are we doing? All the Chelsea managers, Mourinho won 2 league titles, then got sacked, came back around and won another league title for them.
That's why their player recruitment was like that too. It wasn't just the managers. When I look at the players that we're signing, they were signing players that, okay, you're in your pump or you're about to be in your pump. They didn't really sign players. I'll tell you something. Chelsea wouldn't have signed an Onana because I'll tell you as an example, Onana's like, oh, well, I need a ball-playing goalkeeper for the next 3 years because I'm trying to build this project. They wouldn't do that. They would get in players that are going to win within the next year or so, because if you are not good enough and I sack you and I get someone else can deal with him. And this is what Flawless is going back to. Because I'll tell you something, if we fire a manager right now and we get another manager, what if the other manager is like, you know what, I don't even rate Onana. I mean, he's a ball-playing goalkeeper, but that's not the type of goalkeeper that I have. Then there you go, that was a failed investment. Same as some of the investments that we did under Ole. We signed it for a style of play that he was trying to play, and then when we're looking at the manager that we have now, he's like, I don't need counter-attacking players. I don't need Bissaka who just defends because I'm not trying to defend. I'm trying to hold the ball. So when you mix all that together, you're seeing what Flawless is saying. We're not built for long term. If we are getting players for the now, like as crazy as this sounds, I'll tell you something. That Cavani signing, that is a short-term signing. You could come in, bag in 15 goals a season or whatever.
Yeah.
Just win the league. Obviously, if the team was built around it, and there you go. You're out after a season or two. But you got players that can generically work with so many managers. And I'm not gonna lie, this opened my eyes to that because I'm looking at it right now. After Flaw said that, I'm like, you know what? We actually are not built for long-term success because we fire another manager every 2-3 seasons, and everything we invested in these three seasons doesn't fit the manager coming after, and it's the cycle repeated again. So it has to be short-term success.
Yeah, and don't get mistaken, people. Chelsea's. I'm not saying we are Abramovich because Abramovich did a phenomenal job there in regards to winning trophies. I'm just saying that the process, his thought process, was short term. Roman Abramovich never hired a manager to be there for 5-10 years. It was win now, and maybe we need to. And in regards to us, go to short term because Ten Hag did that. He won straight away. He won the first possible trophy available to him, and we're in the 4th round of that competition now. And he could reach the final again. He reached the FA Cup final. So he is capable of winning now because we watched him do it. This whole thing of 5-10 year projects don't exist. It's a myth. We haven't seen it since Sir Alex Ferguson. And that was a different time. That's the 80s, early 90s. And even then, he was FA Cup away, getting knocked out of the FA Cup away from being sacked. Everyone knows that's the job, that's the goal, that the competition that saved him in 1990, otherwise he would have got sacked. There's been no other. Pep's currently building one. Bear in mind, Pep's one of the best managers of all time, so that's not the norm. What's Klopp's at Liverpool? What's his long-term project? How successful has that been? 1 Premier League and 1 Champions League.
Oh, he's on a new project now because his old team is now almost done. You know, you're looking at Salah and Van Dijk and Alisson. They're one of the few that are left.
Donev says 2 things can be true at the same time. Glazers are terrible, but Ten Hag and many other players are also not good enough. Facts. Hope new owner
I agree with that.
gets
100%.
rid. Listen, I agree.
100%.
I think 2 things can be right. I 100% agree with you. But I think the main thing is that we can't allow these owners to sack another manager before. Yeah, I mean, how many managers? You know, you're gonna realize like, yo, what's going on? Like, how Ollie's not doing well. Ten Hag, like everybody's just failing.
Common denominator. What is the common denominator?
What's the common denominator? Facts. The difference is Chelsea got rid of shit players. We don't. Again, as well. That's another one as well. They sell players well as well. Like as much as they're shit, they'll get rid of them straight away. We're hogging Maguire after 3-4 years. We got Lindelof still here at the football club. So many managers are still here.
Didn't Jose? Was it Jose Mourinho that signed Lindelof? Right? He's been here since Jose Mourinho. Bro,
I mean, like he would have been gone. Like I don't want to do the whole sentiment thing. I think I'm not trying to bash Lindelof, but I'm saying like how many of these players I would still be here if it was under. Abramovich would have said, "See you later, mate. See you later."
Saeed, the low 5 years plus. Luke Shaw 5 years plus. Lindelof 5 years plus. I think Maguire almost 5 years plus. Rashford 5 years plus. Martial 5 years plus. Bruno almost 5 years. Who else? Who else am I missing? That's what I'm saying. It's so many. McTominay 5 years plus. Am I missing anyone? There's so many players that are essential for this team that started week in, week out.
Yeah.
I've been here through so many managers, and we still having the same conversations. Are they good enough? We shouldn't be having these conversations after all these years. 5 years plus for any player, and we haven't been winning. That's just a bad indicator that the club doesn't know what they're doing. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, almost one of them as well. 5 years almost. See, so many players that are actually still here, and I can't believe how they're still here. Because we had these conversations last year, the year before, and the year before. Yeah. It's like we're having like a reunion every year. Every year, we're like, all right, is he good enough? All right, we're done. I'll see you next year to talk again if Martial is good enough. Why are we still talking about that? If he wasn't good enough the first 3-4 times, why is he still here? We should have been on to other players. How is Lindelof stepping in when we don't have a center back after he hasn't been good enough to start for about 5 years? Mind you, I don't think Lindelof is that bad, but how is he our first option today as soon as Lissandro's out? How have we not replaced him in the past 3 years? Same as Højlund. When he comes off and we need a goal, we'll bring on Martial. How are we still looking at Martial to be an option? McTominay when he played for us against Bayern. Oh, we're short on midfielders today. Let's bring in McTominay. Wait, what? McTominay was here. There was Mourinho. Mourinho since then went to Spurs, went to Roma, and we still have him. It just doesn't make sense to me.
And just to this, you need a cutthroat owners to get to you need to have cutthroat owners to get short-term success. No, you don't, because we just watched, like I just mentioned, Ten Hag have a successful season last season under this ownership. If you're a good manager or a great manager or an elite manager or a world-class manager and you manage at that level, you will be successful here because you get enough money. You receive enough funds to do what you need to do. Yes, it makes it extremely tough and it's added pressure on said manager, whoever it is. But guess what? You word to Saeed, you're at Manchester United Football Club. You're under the microscope. It's unfortunate. It sucks the position you're in. But guess what? You are paid extremely well for an extremely tough job. Ten Hag is compensated. Ten Hag has a very, very tough job. Do not get it mistaken. He has an extremely tough job. But you are paid extremely well to do that extremely tough job. Perform better. The reason why Manchester United have been poor this season is not on the Glazers. Is there factors on the ownership? Yes. But they didn't tell him play a diamond. They didn't tell him switch the team up today after our best performance. They didn't do that. They didn't tell him sign Mason Mount. And the list goes on and on and on. That's on him. Hold him accountable, because when we won the Carabao Cup, no one was there saying, yo, all hail the Glazers. This is on them.
He needs to be held accountable. Of course, I agree.
Yes.
I agree. There's so many things that I think Ten Hag needs to be held accountable. Nobody told him to buy Mason Mount and these signings. Anthony was a lot of money. He banked on that. He said, right, okay, then veto that. Oh, sorry, not veto it. So, but I want to sanction this. I want this possible. You know, and you know, a lot of his players are his. You know what I mean? So I feel like for me, but the thing is, there's a balance we need to have as fans. Is like, we need to back the manager in what he wants in the philosophy. Like, we might not agree with it, but it's his philosophy, so we have to back it. And now, when you see the evidence that's brought to you, and you actually realize, okay, then we've been here for 18 months now, and it's not worked, then you can ask serious questions as, why is it not worked? So I agree with you in so many ways, but ultimately it comes down to, now, is it right that he should be sacked? Should he be given time? Like, should he be given time? And for me, I've always said it for me. If it gets to around November, December, and I don't see it improving, like I don't see any more improvements, that's when I'd be like, you know what? I think it's time to go. But right now, I feel like for me, it's bad and it's shocking. But I still think for me, he has time to turn it around. Not to the standard that people want it to, maybe not. But that's where you have the expectations come into place. So I don't know, man. I just think for me, A, the board won't have any balls right now in a minute to sack him anyway, because they're under so much pressure. And B, for me, I just don't right now in this minute think anybody's out there that we can go and visibly get that will come in and fix the solution right now. I just don't think right now it will come. People are saying November's only a month away. Well, November's only a month away, isn't it? And December's only 2 months away. We'll get to that. We'll get to that, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know. K Mill says, flawless, you need to cutthroat owner to do short-term success. That's the opposite of Glazers won't work for us.
Yeah, that's what I got to earlier in regards to say Ten Hag had a successful season last season. Like you did.
Yeah, there you go.
And managers, again, to people who keep saying this in regards to Luke Shaw, managers keep picking him and giving him new contracts, because we watched Ten Hag give De Gea a new contract and then take it away and then move him on. What are we talking about? If he didn't want to play Luke Shaw, guess what? He wouldn't play him. That's why we don't see Maguire. You know why? Because he don't want to play him. That's why you don't see Sancho, because guess what? He don't want to play him. Managers in control of that. Let's stop acting like the Glaze. You think the Glazers even know we play today?
Bro, I don't even know.
Honestly,
they're in New York. I said, I texted Omar. I was like, Omar, be on the watch, because the Glazers in the city. I was like, if you see Avram walking around, smack him on the head or something. He's in the city right now. I'm actually get dressed and just go Glazer hunting in New York City. They have no idea we're playing today.
We do.
Last couple of super chats before we wrap it up. We've gone overtime. I don't know how we've got to 2 hours, but listen, we're gonna wrap it up, people. HK missing. Real Madrid would have shipped Luke Shaw after he broke his leg. He's been here now again 9 years at the football club again. Inconsistent performance, but he's still here as well. K Mill says Glazers give too much power to Ten Hag with the silence. Do you ever imagine Roman doing that thing again? Another thing as well, because they're so bad at their job, they gave all the keys to Ten Hag when they should never have gave all the keys to him. Should have been a balance, a recruitment team, a DOF, a proper DOF, not this muppet John Myrtle, a proper DOF, and actually plan as to what we're doing. You know what I mean? Not just, you know what, let's let him lead what we're going to do, and we'll just say, yeah, well, we agree with that. We don't agree with that. And Donav says he should be on performance improvement plan like he gave on Sancho, accountability all around, dead serious. Bro, that's mad, you know, when you think about it, like, Sancho's a spit in the water, man. When you deep it, like, it's nothing. And I'm not saying bring Sancho back and he will solve all our problems, but yeah, I mean, Ten Hag has got his own problems, mate. You know what I mean? Let's be real, man. Ten Hag needs to fix his own problems as well. So it is what it is, man. Like, just to kind of wrap it up, Flawless, anything that you think will happen next, or do you think, or is it just is what it is?
Ten Hag, people who are doubtful of Ten Hag or people who want Ten Hag out, I've got a lot of ammo from this game, and I fully understand that in regards. So I can see that this now being a conversation up until Tuesday. That Tuesday game is so important. That's must win for him.
Bro,
I think he's so close to his must win. It's so close to the purge. Very similar to the Burnley game. I think if we would have drew or lost the Burnley game, it would have been like that. For anyone who's seen the purge, it's just absolute
that's true
chaos
as well, you know.
And I think now, especially with it being at home, especially with what's happened against Crystal Palace today, and it being in the Champions League and losing to Bayern Munich and the implications it could have on us not getting out of the group. Like, I could see people turning if we don't win that game. That's what I could see. I could see people who are like doubtful on Ten Hag in going Ten Hag out.
Two losses in the Champions League. Listen, it's not looking.
And then you go away. I think, is it home to Copenhagen, then away? Is it
home?
We're home twice in a row, and then we start going away.
Okay.
And then away Copenhagen, then away to Galatasaray.
But you're also on the flat foot. You're also on the wrong foot. You know what I mean? It's still
we have to win.
Only your third. Yeah,
you gotta win that game. We gotta win that game. So that's what
it's a win.
Because they drew the first games, by the way. So we win, and we're up to second place.
Yeah, hopefully Ten Hag can turn it around, man. That's what I'm banking on, because he did it last season. That the penny drops and he figures this out. Yeah, man, I'm hoping so. As critical as I have been of him, I'm turn it around.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. Oh, we're getting echo, Musa. Coming in out. Yeah.
Why is always driving?
Yeah, he's always driving. I don't know why
you're looking for the ops, man.
He's driving away from United.
You're looking for the ops.
Yeah, he's looking for the ops, man. He's looking for Ten Hag.
You're looking for the ops.
But yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Staffy, anything that you want to finally say? Any final any words? Sorry, that you think? Like, what do you think?
Listen, I hope it gets better. That's why I asked you this question earlier. I said, Saeed, you don't think these are growing pains? And people said, stop waffling. That wasn't me waffling. That was just me asking a question, because it could be, you know? So I'm hoping at the end of the day, these are growing pains, that this is just a part of the process, because you have to lose as a part of the process sometimes. I could be wrong. I'm not promising anyone that this will work. I'm just hoping it is. And other than that, big up for having me, bro. I know I hopped in like last minute. I saw you had one missing. I was like, might as well come on. Make sure you guys are smashing the likes. I don't know if we're over 1K likes or not yet, but if we have it, make sure you get us to 1K.
Likes, to be honest with you.
I was gonna say, if we didn't get 1K, get us to 1K. If we did, then make sure we get to 2K, because you know what? I said this on my channel yesterday, Flaws. There's no ceiling to the likes. We're not moving like United here. The ceiling is unlimited. United ceiling is limited, but our ceiling is not. You know, and make sure you subscribe to my channel, Staffy_TV, and love for having me, Saeed.
Always, man. Musa, your final thoughts. We're gonna wrap it up. Final thoughts. What do you think?
Listen, final thoughts. I've heard it. Listen, I was listening to you guys while I was driving, and I said to myself, "Hold on, is this still the same show? What's going on out here?" You guys,
we're still here. Therapy, bro.
But therapy. But you know, was talking a lot of sense. So I was enjoying the therapy. But you know what? I've come to the conclusion, man. Like, I'm Ten Hag out, man. He has to go for me, man. He has to go. He has to go.
Yes.
And the reason I'm saying that he has to go, from my standpoint, is that I've seen enough. And you know, sometimes that you can be on the fence for as long as you want, But I feel like you also got to stand on your principles. And I look at players that's been there on their second, like Sancho's second season last year. Everybody was like, he's been here 2 years. I haven't seen enough. Anthony's second season, he started a bit slow. Everyone's been on him. The manager's second season, and everyone's just jumping around and feel like, making it. Nah, brother. It's been here for 18 months. And you know, one thing I've realized is this. With the Glaziers, I don't think anybody's going to be able to win the league. I don't think we're going to have a manager that can win the league under this ownership. But what I do believe is that our managers are backed well enough to finish second in the league and to be the best of the rest. And we're just so far from being the best of the rest. I can't accept it. I can't be like, he's not got enough money. Blah. Listen, we don't need a new ownership to be the best of the rest. And that's how I see it. And we're nowhere near that. I just don't see us competing with the likes of, I'm seeing Newcastle putting performances, man. I told you, say this Newcastle team, you got to watch it. Everyone's saying Champions League, they're going to struggle. I'm saying, nah, they're not, man. And I think it's down to the manager, it's down to the coaching. And I'm looking at the players that Erik ten Hag has brought in. And from every single player that he's brought in, there's only a few of them. I'm not even sure that, I don't know. Like Martinez, there's a new manager, keep him. I know everyone's saying he's the butcher, but there's a new manager, keep Martinez. There's a new manager, keep Casemiro. There's a new manager, keep Anthony. Does he keep Højlund as his main number 9? Or Mount? There's a lot of questions that got to be answered. Yeah, because we talking about.
Musa, I love how you sat the manager already in your head. That's great, yo. You know what I'm saying? This guy talking about what the new manager
but in my head,
yo.
I'm thinking, look, because my thing is this: like, we've gone to the same thing again. We've brought in a new manager. We've wanted him to do what he was meant to do, but he's found it difficult. But then even the signings that he's brought in, who keeps them? Like, if a new manager, there's some signings like, all right, cool, Varane. Yeah, next manager will keep him to an extent if he's still in his prime, Casemiro, all of that. But there's some of the new signings that he's brought in, the younger players, even Onana. Some managers might say, I'm not having a keeper that's frantic like that. Like they might say, look, I understand about all his ball playing skills and he plays out from the back, but he's a bit too frantic for me. I'm not having that. I need a new goalkeeper.
Well,
do you know what I'm saying? So there's too many signings for me. There's too many signings for me that other managers might just not want. So then where do we go again? We're back to zero. And I just feel like Manchester United need to buy players for the club, not for the managers, man. And I think that's the problem we're having. We just keep on buying.
We don't have a board.
Players.
We don't have a board for that. That's the problem. Because everything that you say, Musa, comes back down to the board, innit? And everything that you want comes back down to the board. Like, you know what I mean? And that's just a reality situation. You could avoid going back to your dad and that. And when you have a little falling out with your dad and you don't have no money, you're with the man them and you ain't got no money. But you still have to go back to your dad and say, yo, listen, brother. Listen, dad, I need the money. I need some money to go out with him. Ultimately, you're gonna have to say, you know what? I gotta humble myself. Sorry, I need the money. We need to find a little truce in it. You feel me? That's what it is, man. It comes back down to the ownership.
It's definitely the ownership. But my last words is this: the best signing we made, I think, since Alex Ferguson was Ralph Rangnick, and we let him go. That's all I'm gonna end it on, man. Because everything that guy said was just facts. He even said that don't sign players that are not going for their first and second contracts. Make sure that they're angry. We're giving players mad contracts. Now we're done. We're done. And
this long podcast is done as well, man. You get me?
Eyes on the road. What are you laughing at? Eyes on the road.
Eyes on the road.
I said we're done.
But yeah, like I said, it's one of them, man. It's a lot to take in, people. And like I said, people, if everyone has their own opinion, if you're Ten Hag out, you're Ten Hag out in it. But I just don't personally see the issue in it and where we go from here, man. I'll be real with you. It is what it is, man. But listen, Flawless, it's been a good one. Big up to you, bro. Love for coming on, man.
Hey, big up for having me as always, man. Much appreciated. Always enjoy these shows. You can tell Manchester United are getting worse because these shows are getting longer. So here, people, Hey, bump up the likes though, because Saeed is doing great work on the channel. Saeed is doing fun. So bump up the likes, hit the subscribe button. Please make sure you subscribe to Sarcasm City TV as well. I'm live tonight. The Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show. So obviously with our game and obviously what happened with Spurs, Liverpool, the show's gonna be fire. So that's at midnight, people. So make sure midnight UK time that is. And then I'm doing on the kick. It's Charlo versus Canelo. That'll be early hours in the morning, 3 a.m., 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Doing a watch along for that on the kick, people. So make sure you tune into that as well. So salute. Big up.
Big.
Yeah, big up, man. Staffy, like I said, he just told you there before. Staffy TV, people, make sure you follow him as well. Get him to 2K, get him to 3K, get him to 5K, whatever it is, people. Make sure you do that. And Musa reacts, man. I feel like tonight you might have to go back to your basement and then get the video out, man. Get a reaction out.
Nah, these guys, listen. These guys have got man. These guys have they gave me the shortest YouTube career ever, bro. The shortest YouTube career.
They humble you, man. They humble you. You know what I mean?
They humbled me.
It ain't easy. Yo, where's the hey Saeed? Where's the merch, man? We need that. It ain't easy merch. What's going on, man?
You know what?
I ain't gonna lie. On a weekly basis, I'm gonna be on your case about that. No, we need the tees and the hoodies, man. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
I would defo cop that.
Forget the hoodie. Forget everything else. We need a Bally because we're gonna be wearing that.
Bally. You know what? I'm about to get the Bally's now. Bally ain't easy, Bally.
Listen,
I'm about to get out.
I just gave you the idea. Give me like 5% royalty there. I will. Because I'm buying one. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you now, man. I'm gonna get out, man. But yeah, people, man, hit the like button on the way out, man. That's important for us. Like they said, the content and whatnot. Subscribe to these guys' channels as well. You know what I mean? They're all in the link in the description. Follow that as well. And also subscribe to this channel. I'll see you tomorrow, no doubt. But for now, United are well and truly in the mud. We're out.